Hello everybody! Welcome! We are back. It's Thursday. It means we're playing Ace Attorney. I hope you're having a good day. And we're gonna jump into it.
Like tampons.
I'm
Thank
practicing
you.
my British accent.
Thanks, great. I'm glad that's when I came back. Cool. Very cool. Very nice. Great.
I'm back and I have vinegar.
Yay!
Alright. Starting off strong.
Miles only put oil.
Anyway.
Miles only put oil in his salad dressing, so he was like, "Oh fuck!"
It's like, why did my salad taste so bad? I'm like, oh, there's no fucking vinegar in it.
Alright. Okay. Bye.
Goodbye, pouty lad.
Just looking at him,
The saddest guy.
like his head is at like a 90-degree angle from his body. Yeah, where were we going?
Up your butt.
Okay. There was a new location added.
Yeah, it's the
The
prison
governor's
governor's
makes
office.
sense.
Hey,
Yeah.
Miles, you gotta stop eating your salad.
I know, I had a feeling. I can wait a minute.
No, it'll get cold.
It'll be soggy.
Cold?
I will say, I do not mind a salad that's sat a little bit too long. My mom will occasionally, just be like, no, after we make salad for dinner, or, with dinner, we'll make it and eat it, and she'll, I'm gonna save my portion for, half an hour and come back. And I'm like, what? So,
You let
I get it.
Take after
you
my
let
mom
all
tonight.
the dressing get on the stuff, and then
yeah, it's good.
it's a good time. Anyway, it's the 2nd of November at the Barclay Prison Governor's Office.
Ah, back again, are you? Good lord. It's gonna take a second to get back into this guy's voice.
You can buy a jerry can with a Supreme branded jerry can?
What's a hex bug?
What the
What's
fuck?
a jerry can?
I don't know
What
what
the
I
fuck
don't
is
know.
happening?
They're kind of like gas cans, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they're gas cans. They're
Oh,
like
the gas.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi, Sophie.
Hexbugs, Levi, are a toy.
Oh
that
yeah, I'm
They're
seeing that.
sometimes sold on the counters of 7-Elevens.
Right. That's funny.
Trithis, for some unknown reason, is browsing the online store for Supreme, that fancy branded company that puts their logo on all of their products.
Fancy.
Fancy, quote unquote. It's fancy because they put their brand on everything.
It's fancy because they said they were. And we haven't doubted them yet.
We did at one point, and someone brought it back to being cool. I don't know. Anyway, yes? Hello. That's not his voice. I don't know who I am.
Hold on one second. I want to close my window. Sorry, I'm sitting directly in front of an open window, and I'm like, I do not want to do a bad Scottish accent directly out this window.
Oh,
Good
she
lord.
will do it for strangers. Sunny.
I don't care if you guys judge me, I just got neighbors.
The only ones here to judge my Baghdad
Neighbor.
is the birds.
Yeah, no, I mean, I live 30 feet behind another
No, I
house.
know.
I could throw a rock. It's very close. I've heard all about your investigations. I read the report just now. You found him, Vigil.
Yes, luckily.
Well, anywho. The lad doesn't work here no more. So your case is now to do with Barclay. I would not like you to get the wrong idea about that.
Of course.
Trying to
yes.
keep the okay.
Mr. Vigil stopped
Have
working
to
here
commit.
10 years ago now, so...
Iris is here.
Yeah, she's been with us the whole time. She just barely talks.
Tagging
We've
along.
been kind of hanging out. Yes, we've seen his dismissal notice, haven't we? He was given the job.
Aye, Commander. You can very well. So, how about the wee handcuff biscuit?
Oh, oh, they really are like little handcuffs, and as hard as irons too.
So, what's brought you down here today?
Well, there's something else we'd like to ask you about, actually.
Is that so?
We believe there might have been a document that disappeared from Genshin Asogi's cell. I think it's been called the Asogi Papers or something.
Did I not say Gretin's death has not to do with things that might have happened at Barclay? Leave the past in the past, laddie. Let's not futter about with irrelevant details.
His expressions changed completely. We're clearly onto something here. That's a deep vest pocket. That comb is like 8 inches
It's not a
long.
pocket.
It is.
It's just a hole in his jacket. It just drops in there.
His jacket.
It
And his
has
vest
to.
just falls in.
It has to be
Yeah.
a pocket because he pulls it out of it.
He's got it on a little string. We can't see it.
It's a pocket of holding. There's no depth to it until you reach in.
That murderer's botched execution, and the whole miserable escape. They were Barclay's darkest hour, aye. A shocking embarrassment.
Because the convict had a collaborator on the prison staff, you mean?
Aye. For shame. The coroner who confirmed the death of the man after his court execution, Courtney Scythe. And my chief warder at the time, Vigil, who was in charge of the whole affair.
But Mr. Vigil said he didn't know anything about it.
The rascal would nae say otherwise, eh? More handcuffs.
Oh! How could I say no? I can never have too much iron in your diet. You can never have too much iron in your diet.
Mr. Vigil was handed his dismissal notice as a result of what had happened. He was so despairing, he jumped out of your office window, didn't he? I didn't like to say, but that was Vigil trying to get out of it. Did you not think he would nae have jumped from the shock of his crimes being exposed, eh? I do.
You wouldn't say otherwise, though, would you?
Of course, I canna shun all responsibility myself. I shouldn't have let him deceive me. Actually, there's barely anyone that kens what went on at the time now. With Gregson having been murdered, and Dr. Scythe forbidden from having any visitors.
No visitors. Someone obviously doesn't want her giving anything away.
Well, but not going home empty-handed.
And I wouldn't dream of sending you packing with notes, Kimmer. Here, take a handcuff or two. This is the weirdest character, quirk, I think, or one of the weirder ones I've come across, is giving out miniature handcuff biscuits as a way of distracting people.
I think specifically distracting the small child in the room. Because
He kept giving them to us. No, he didn't.
I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
He offered us one or two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
as
like
many
this,
as he's
though.
offered Iris.
Yeah, no, he keeps...
It's like
Yes.
every other word. It's like, hey, Iris. Every time Iris tries to say something, he's like, here, take a biscuit.
He's like, get out of my office. Do you not want a child in my office?
You
You
can
see all
tell
the
that this
weapons
girl was
everywhere?
the smartest one here, so he's keeping her munching.
Oh, well, it would be rude to say no. You wouldn't want to become anemic.
You're like 10. I suppose. If there's anybody who might still... What?
Sorry.
Is it be that last from the forensic? Someone who might still care about what happened back then.
You stopped as if you'd finished reading the line, and so I was...
I saw that someone had sent a message in chat, and I paused for a second. My eyes flitted over to it. It would be that last from the forensic division, Maria Gori.
Maria... Gory?
Her last name's Gory?
We've already seen that name on the thing, didn't we?
No, we just saw Maria. Maria
thought it
G
was
or
on
something.
there.
I don't think she...
I thought it was on there.
Maybe we did.
I'm pretty
Okay.
sure
I'm pretty sure we've seen Gory.
Okay.
Aye, Dr. Scythe's daughter. She didn't have no more, just the one.
So was Scythe's maiden name Gory?
But the wee Barons followed their mum's footsteps. Didn't I see her without a scalpel in her hand?
Oh yeah, we know her maiden name. So, different...
It's just a
she
different
changed
name.
the thing. Yeah.
Mama, what's this?
Yeah. Where did she spring from? And did she just call the doctor Mama? Dr. Scythe's daughter, Maria Gori. We could do with talking to her. So, she's Dr. Scythe's daughter, but her surname is Gori?
Aye, there is some family history, I'm sure, but I didn't ken the ins and outs of it. She grew up watching her mum work with the bodies of folks who died in strange circumstances, and decided to do the same with her own life. I cannot understand it myself. Perhaps she was driven by a deep respect for her mother. Perhaps. Anywho, she was in charge of Gregson's autopsy, I believe.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was. She's on the coroner's report.
That's how we know her name. We did acknowledge this earlier.
No, I thought it was a different name.
This was like at the beginning of the case, though. Like it's been
a while.
And we had the same discussion of like, oh, could that be your daughter? And they were like, no, because that's a different maiden name.
Yeah, Miles and I were wrong.
I thought I was the one who thought it was her daughter.
Oh,
yes.
My bad. Sorry. I thought we were the ones who were just
right. I'm like, how would they not introduce a third coroner?
Somebody agreed with me that it was
at this point in the game.
That it was some.
Where I think where I thought was she. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be guessing here with ages, but like, Scythe wasn't that old, so she can't be that old. And so the idea that she is actually an official coroner now is wild to me.
Or not blood related is the possibility here.
That's all.
Well, I mean, also like Gina's an inspector now, I guess, because Gregson beefed it, right? So like,
yeah. If your
18.
boss beefs it, you become the boss. Yeah, Gina's
That's
also
what I mean.
Gina's 18 now.
Gina's 18. I'm assuming Maria Gori is 18 as well. We don't know anything about her enough to know.
Yeah.
But
God,
also,
I wish we had Scythe's age in
we've seen crazier shit here. I believe she was 40.
Okay.
47?
She was not extremely younger than Strongheart.
Okay.
I remember thinking like, oh, it's gonna be like the...
She's at least 10 years older.
Yeah, she was
39.
39. She was 39. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
she's
39?
I didn't think she was in her
Really?
40s. Yeah, 39.
I thought she was in her 40s. Okay.
Okay.
I probably was thinking, because I was thinking they gave me big Lana Gant vibes, and I'm like, then I'm like, and the age of them is like 30 years or something like that, and I was like, oh, this is nothing. Like,
Anyway, we'll meet her soon, I suppose.
you should have Maria around 20 if Maria's like, oh, that the Gant Lana is 36. I said this.
Right. The coroner responsible for this incomplete report.
Someone told me once that the wee lassie always loved her mum's stories about cutting up bodies. There's even a rumour that she used to listen to the funeral march as a lullaby. Well then, perhaps her mother might have just told her about the autopsy from the case 10 years ago. I'd say there's a fighting chance at least. After all, that was a life-changing case for all of us. Life-changing chase.
We really need to speak with Miss Gorey herself about this, I think. Well, thank you very much.
I'm not happy about any part of this. It took years for Londoners to finally forget the whole professor business. Can you not give up on this, laddie? Stop asking pointless questions.
I'm sorry. I don't like dredging up these painful memories for everyone.
Can you not just stay away now? Leave me alone and didn't come back here, eh?
Anyway.
How did you come to ken about that, laddie? There's not many folks, even here in prison, who've heard those papers.
Ah. Well, I can't just tell him Mr. Vigil told me.
I'm afraid our sources must remain confidential, sir.
We've been led to believe the papers are actually a last will and testament. Is that right? The professor's, or rather, Genshin Asogi's.
Aye, that's right. You're well informed, Jimmy.
Oh. Is that the end of the silent treatment? Then after the convict's execution, it mysteriously vanished from his cell, didn't it?
Heavens no. You're off with a hopcock there. I think you didn't quite get your facts straight. It was there in the cell, exactly where it should have been.
Oh. Not what we heard elsewhere.
Let me just have a wee hook around in here. I'm sure I can find it.
Nice.
Aye, here you are. See?
The last will and testament of Genshin Asogi, written with a calligraphy brush.
Of course, I cannot read the words of the Japanese squiggles. But I mind it says he leaves all his worldly possessions to his son back in his homeland. Yes, that's correct. That's the gist of it.
So these are the Asogi papers?
Aye, of course they are. Papers written by Asogi, no doubt about it. There's no mystery here, laddie. That's your lot. After all the stramish of that slicer of an execution, we sent the man's possessions back to his clan in Japan, and that was the end of it. I think we ought to make a record of this, Mr. Naruhodo. Just in case.
The Asogi papers have been entered into the court record.
One thing before you go on your way, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, the one about it. I, Genshin Asogi, hereby request that upon my death, any and all material possessions and wealth belonging to me in London be delivered to my son, Kazuma Asogi, in the Empire of Japan. It is with deep sadness that I accept my fate in this foreign land, in the knowledge that I will never see my homeland or family again, but I regret nothing about my chosen path. Interesting.
I still think he killed the professor.
Hmm. Yeah, no, this feels like that.
That's my guess.
I'm with you on that one. Also wondering about the possessions being given to Cosma makes me wonder, like, he referred to that as
What did
his
Cosma
weapon. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly.
The
That's what I'm thinking about
secret
too.
sword.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Opens up
Honestly,
the
though,
handle of the
it's-
katana, and there's like a fucking like, here's who the professor is, bitch. It's Strongheart.
Well, that'd
Well,
be
no.
a little busy, but it's something like that.
Oh.
It's just, it doesn't have any proof or anything. It just says the professor is Strongheart.
This
and
bitch did it.
nothing else. It's like, okay, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
God, though, the fact that the sword has been at our side for most of the 2 games, and now is back at Kazuma's side. The one time we actually want to fucking look at it.
Right, exactly.
Oh,
Brutal.
yes.
Those papers are naught to do with Gregson's death. I'd prefer it if you didn't make no mention of them outside this office. Or rather, I wouldn't just prefer it. Consider it an order from the highest levels of our government.
I understand. But I'm not going to listen. Ha ha!
Today I will not follow orders.
I see you made a decision, but I've decided it's a stupid ass decision, and I've elected to ignore it. To pull back a meme from 10 years ago.
So old.
Okay.
Speaking of someone who's
Salad time. I've been like sneaking bites between lines. It's a good salad too.
What if it was a bad salad? Would it be funnier? Oh, why can we still converse? Oh, okay, never mind.
Eh.
Fucker.
We didn't get like a text intro when we moved here, so there wouldn't be new dialogue, I
Yeah.
don't think.
Yeah. Can we show that to Vigil? Show the papers?
I'm not eating my fucking salad, you assholes.
Well, at least he seems to be on the mend.
You know, his disguise as Mr. Gossip was really quite masterful, wasn't it?
No, we figured it out immediately.
Can't remember anything about it except for the floppy lip.
I imagine not even his wife would have recognized him.
Speaking of,
Perhaps.
where is she?
Did he really have to take it quite so far?
I wonder if we'd like exhausted his dialogue. He did have like a rough ending, like
Yeah,
at last time we
no,
talked to him.
Done.
Hey, give us your sword.
That music. Ah,
Mhm. Can we show him the papers? Yeah.
Right, because then he'll be like, "Oh, he left me this thing."
Oh no, he
God
can't.
damn
oh fuck.
He's
God
he-
damn it.
he's gonna be like, stop
why-
trying to
why
show me.
recommended-
He's gonna say, stop trying to show me stuff.
That's why I assumed we should show it to Vigil, because Vigil actually watched him write the papers.
Right, but seems not.
I don't think Molly actually presented it to him.
We can't.
We just
I
showed
don't know
up.
if we can even talk
No.
to him.
Oh,
I
okay.
cannot talk to him. I
Oh.
cannot do anything in that room.
Game said no. Fuck your theory. Find out along with everybody else, bitch.
Also, frankly, Vigil saw him writing a letter in Japanese that if
Right.
he doesn't speak Japanese, he would
Yeah,
not be able to
no.
tell if it was the same piece of text unless it was like a
Mhm.
different piece of paper or something.
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years anyway.
Is Iris the one where we're getting the what should we do next? Because I'm wondering if there's someone at in our office.
A photograph of Mrs. Vigil.
Realizing the identity of this lady was a very great clue to exposing Mr. Gossip's true identity. He obviously loves his wife very dearly. which is why he felt he couldn't tell her the truth.
Transformation was incredible, wasn't it? Just from that big twisted lip.
Yes, well, he went to extraordinary efforts to play the part of Hugh Boone convincingly.
Although, it didn't really seem like it was much of an effort to me.
Now you say it, I have to agree.
It's almost as if that was Mr. Vigil's true character.
People really are very hard to fathom at times.
There are details of the cases stretching back over 10 years on this notice board. Yes, a history of Lord Von Ziek's defeats in court.
I don't think that's an appropriate description. Although, when you consider everything on the board, it's certainly true. That all those people had a background of dubious dealings.
And in the end, of course, the board itself concealed the inspector's own death.
Oh my. It really doesn't bear thinking about.
Using a candle as a timer device. Very ingenious, I must say.
Yes, the culprit arranged it so that the firecracker would be set off at 5 o'clock, and then left.
That a loud bang was heard at precisely the moment Lord Von Ziek arrived, yes. If only he hadn't picked up that gun from the floor.
Something you probably told yourself once upon a time, I imagine.
Yes, I've learnt that lesson by bitter experience. I would have turned and run for a mile, for sure.
Which may not have done you any favours, either.
They're like, just in case you forgot. It turns out that Gregson didn't actually die in here at all. Where on earth could he have been killed?
Well, one way or another, we must find out! For the inspector's sake. You know, you look awfully pale again today, Mr. Naruhodo.
Sorry. When I start thinking it all through, I conjure up some horrible images in my mind.
Your imagination is the culprit here, then. Most certainly guilty.
Never imagined that this little figurine would turn out to be a watch-winding key.
I suppose it's a policeman because the pocket watch was a gift from Scotland Yard. It seems there was much more to Inspector Gregson than we ever realised. He was clearly a brilliant man.
It's the fish and chips that threw us off. I feel as though it ruined his image.
I really don't think we should blame one of Britain's staple cuisines.
I mean, it's more the fact that he kept shoving it into his pocket. Think about it. Imagine if it was Mr. Scholes. How would you feel if instead of that old briar pipe that's always in his hand, Mr. Scholes had a bag of chips?
Rather disappointed, if I'm honest.
Hi, Tony. Exactly. This revolver, just who does it belong to?
For a second I thought Tony was in the call. I was like, what? But it was just Levi very quietly, I think.
Yes, it was Levi.
Or someone. It was like, I'm like...
I said hi quietly, because I didn't want to...
Very quietly in a way that I'm like, wait a minute, what? Sorry. Well, we know if it's type issued to the we know it's of the type issued to members of the police force and judiciary.
But Gregson's own gun was found on his person.
And of course, Lord Von Ziek has admitted to losing the firearm with which he was issued. Such absent-mindedness. Not dissimilar to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
I'm starting to think the cold, hard prosecutor and I could become friends after all.
Then I wish you every success. It certainly makes things a little less awkward around.
I suppose. It's also very possible Sholmes is just like over here. He's not. Playing
There's the other side. Yeah, there's Iris is vibing.
What do you got? We already talked to you.
There might be maybe Sholmes is in her office.
Maybe.
Because it would be weird to have two different. I guess she's not doing the where do you go. It's
She's
just-
not.
Hmm.
I mean, we could check. I think it's worth if we're kind of. I think it's worth just going everywhere again, just in case.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to find.
Anyway,
we
everyone.
wanna-
shut
oh, no, no, no.
Never mind.
Please.
You were saying, Molly?
I said shut up.
Are you all right, Mr. Naruto? It's rather unusual to find ourselves here in the middle of our investigations.
It's
You've never needed a hint like this before.
it's just occurred to me that I might have forgotten something when we left this morning.
Please don't worry. As long as you continue to investigate thoroughly, you won't go far wrong.
Oh, yes, of course. I must get back to work as soon as possible.
That's it. That's all I know.
Oh,
Thank you. Ugh.
Yes, Liz!
But everybody shut up. Like gave me a flashback to a very old Ninja Sex Party song. Oh god, I haven't thought about that in so long.
It's
a good song. We want to find Maria Gori, right?
Oh yeah.
So how do
go
we
to the
get to
coroner's
that?
office?
Yeah.
No, we
I-
cannot.
I feel like we should
we-
like. I would assume we could go.
I've
ask-
gone
can we-
He's not
everywhere.
there. I know
Can we
he's not
present? Okay, where was Cosmo?
He was
He's
in
in
his
the-
office.
I don't think he'd let us present anything to him right now.
Okay, I was gonna say if we presented I was wondering if we presented the autopsy, or maybe if we
give him his father's will.
There's
No,
only like
I
3
tried
people
that.
we can present things to. Yeah, we did that already.
What about
There's only
presenting the
3 people that
autopsy?
we have available to us, and Vigil's not even available to us.
What about
so-
presenting the autopsy to Barack then?
Yeah. Or the papers, honestly.
Because he would be familiar, probably.
Yeah.
Funny, in my head I still pronounce it like Baroque, like the time period, Baroque.
I'm sure it's related.
His first name. I don't know what it's supposed to be.
What's that?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be Barack, but like every time it comes out like Obama.
It
So it's
does.
just like it's
You
not.
can't not sound like Obama.
He is not the former president of the United States.
But what if he
Just
was?
something I was hoping to ask her opinion about, that's all.
This isn't what you need to do. Go away. It's a serious crime for the defense to attempt to extract information from the prosecution by illegal means.
I think we have more of a defense and client relationship now, don't we?
Lol. Okay, well, worth a shot.
Okay. This came up in the trial, didn't it? As something a little dubious, I mean. The fact that no time of death was recorded on Inspector Gregson's autopsy report.
Yes, there were some unexpected turns in the courtroom earlier. The suggestion you came up with certainly took everyone by surprise. The idea that the victim died the previous day at some other location is quite something.
Well, considering when the pocket watch had stopped and the scorch marks on the candle, it's certainly a distinct possibility. The evidence and the scene both point to it.
To be honest, it bothered me too. So I paid a visit to the autopsy room earlier. The coroner responsible wasn't there, but I got a name. It's Dr. Gori.
If it wouldn't trouble you, Kazuma-sama, We very much like to speak with the coroner, too.
Of course. The last thing I want is for anything to be brushed under the carpet.
That's shade at Miles Edgeworth.
Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory is behind Lowgate Cemetery.
Lowgate Cemetery? By Barclay Prison, you mean?
Again? Ah, you know it, do you?
Do we?
The prison where my father was incarcerated and robbed of his life.
Kazuma-sama.
Well, thank you. We'll pay a visit to the laboratory later today.
Oh, I was almost right.
As in, right now.
No, shut up.
Ryunosuke. I want to thank you.
What for?
For this. And bringing up the sword. You safeguarded the soul of the Isogi clan.
Well, it is a famous sword that's been in your family for generations. My only slight regret is that I never got the chance to draw it before I returned it to you.
Haruma is said to have been forged by the master swordsmith during the Sengoku Warring States period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom were expert swordsmen.
Well, then, you're a chip off the old block, I'd say.
This blade, Karuma, is the symbol of the Isogi clan's honor and might. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name for a surname.
Ah, okay.
Oh my god. There's the connection.
Really?
Wow.
That's cool.
That's pretty sweet. That's a nice little Easter egg.
What?
Karuma.
The Von Karma family, because they're called they're called
They're
Karma
Karma
in Japanese, yeah.
Cool.
And yeah. So they're implying that his family taught.
his family mentored
Genshin's
the...
apprentice
Yeah.
took the Karma name.
Yeah.
That's cool as hell, actually.
Yeah, that's a nice way to connect things. Trianthus didn't know. Holy shit.
The encyclopedia.
Wow.
New entry added.
It does sound formidable, that's for sure.
New entry added into Trithus's court record.
16 years ago, when my father was a visiting student here in London, he had this sword forever at his side. Which is why it means so much to me that I have it by my side again now, too.
Oh, a smile!
And that is all thanks to you.
Look at his smile. It was an honor. Sweet baby boy.
It was an honor. Anyway, any secret compartments? Could we just like tap on things? He was like, "No, it's God. You just gave this back to me.
Stop touching my soul!
I want
It's mine now again."
Hey, baby.
Now, I have preparations to make for tomorrow. Perhaps I said a little too much.
Kazuma, you've changed.
No, Ryunosuke. I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed.
Fucking Uno reverse card.
I can completely understand your resentment of Lord Van Zeeks given what happened. But the fact is, those events in this case are, well,
Unrelated. Is that what you want to say? How can you be so sure?
what do you mean?
Never mind. That man is the Reaper, and it's for that reason that the inspector was killed. I'm going to prove as much in court tomorrow, by whatever means necessary.
I can't let
That's
you
an
do
interesting
that.
word choice, though. He said that is the reason he was killed, not who killed him. Like, not that Von Zieks actually killed him. I just wanted to point out that really interesting word choice.
Yeah. I know you'll do what you have to as a lawyer. But I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I won't be taking any prisoners in the courtroom.
I would expect nothing less.
Until tomorrow, then. In the Old Bailey. Oh, okay. I thought he was gonna fade away.
No, he's staying here. He's staying in the room. He needs
Yeah,
to get
but like
work
maybe at
done.
least do the thing that they did with what's his name with Vigil and have him like be in the background actually
He's
working or
sitting at the
something.
desk or something. Sitting at his desk.
Mhm.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God.
Did it get more occult in here?
Oh, it
Oh
sure
my
got more
definitely
cult
did.
in here.
God.
Oh, wonderful. Oh,
I was gonna say it got
What
softer in
style?
here.
It got yeah.
It got softer. She does knitting. She did hang a skeleton plushie from her desk,
That's fucking adorable, honestly.
but it got cuter in here. This place really is creepy, isn't it? Oh, you can just barely see down at the bottom. You can see the little bunny charm
Oh,
on
yeah.
Susato's back.
he's got a charm.
She's got a little
Aw.
bunny charm.
Well, being a dead room, it's probably full of the spirits of the deceased, dissected, and the deceased.
But actually, there's a rather pleasing scent of roses in the air.
Well, being a dead room, the corner probably needs a bold scent like that to mask the odor of death.
Iris, do you think we could change the subject?
Suzelle just quietly crying.
I
Like she's got little
love
tears in her eyes.
death.
What was that?
Sharpening her knife.
She's sharpening a knife, yeah.
Yeah, she's like sharpening a scalpel.
There she is.
Ah, Dr. Gory.
What?
That noise before.
I was sharpening my tools.
I feel like that's not good for the tools doing it like that.
I'd be dead meat if I didn't keep a perfectly keen edge on them.
Yeah, no, that's explicitly not helping keeping your edge. Right.
Oh, fuck, I forgot I'm gonna have to say medical terms. When following the collagen fibers in the dermis, an expertly sharpened scalpel
Collagen.
cuts like cheese. Would you like the demonstration?
Oh, please! I'd love to see.
Then, I think you'll do nicely.
Iris is like, I've got a
No.
new sister.
No, I wouldn't do nicely at all.
Renosuke
I mean,
fucking dies.
Maybe some other time. Is that a tut? Well, we came here to ask questions, so.
Her ribbon on her jacket looks like a face.
Yeah. Like a
It
little,
does kinda.
like a
Oh,
little-
it
Little
does!
stitch
Yeah.
mouth face.
Yeah, Stitch Mouth, yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We have actually met
It looks like she'd be into some Hot Topic shit.
I'm a lawyer, if you remember.
You're not dead yet.
What?
Someone said I wasn't to cut you open. She's so strict about things like that.
Bitch, what?
Yeah, I get it, you edgy teenager. Get the fuck over yourself.
I love her.
Well,
I think she's great.
Yeah.
Dr. Scythe has some scruples, at least.
Oh dear. It looks like she's not interested in talking to us. For the time being, anyway.
For the time being? I mean, until we die? I hope that's a way off.
Be doing a lot of talking when you die, sure.
Sorry, but I wasn't planning on dying anytime soon. Surely there's some less drastic way of making her listen.
Oh, maybe the autopsy?
Can I ask your opinion about this?
Don't forget. You're responsible for putting my mama in jail. Why should I help you?
Okay. Because you're a coroner? Dr. Gory, I actually came here to ask you about this.
He was very good.
I am going to hate listening to her talk about doing an autopsy on Gregson. This is going to be insufferable. Good? Sorry?
His skin didn't snag my blade once. A very little mess. His joints dislocated easily and his muscle tissue was a pleasure to work with.
We can skip those details.
No, please go on.
Sorry, that's fucking so funny.
But there is one thing about the report that's caught my attention.
She goes up to, like, collect an award, and she's like, I'd like to thank Inspector Gregson. His body was so great to work with. Just a real stand-up guy. Well, he
Great
wasn't
joints.
standing up.
You don't seem to have recorded a time of death.
Hi.
Not my fault.
Jesus,
Oh, those
Lord.
eyes.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
that made me jump.
Do we have an age yet?
Then please, tell us what happened.
Now that we've met her.
She's 19.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That tracks with the amount of fan art I've seen of her and Gina. So yeah, they're same age, similar age.
The parallels. There are parallels there.
Yeah.
between-
She feels a lot less safe when she doesn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this autopsy report include the victim's time of death, then? It's really the most crucial detail.
I was told not to write it.
What?
Hmm.
By whom?
Mayor Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice, he came here.
Wow. Big
Lord
surprise.
Strongheart came?
He said that from the witness statements about the gunshot and the other evidence, it was obvious. The man clearly died at 5 PM on 1st November, when the gunshot was heard.
But that's not the time of death you wrote in the report. You didn't write anything. Was there some reason you didn't include it?
Dr. Gory, you're hiding something under Lord Strongheart's instructions. Then sooner or later you're going to go the same way as your mother.
Give it here, then.
She's scribbling so furiously.
There.
You've written...
What? What's she written? Tell us!
Tell us! I'll shoot you.
Indeterminate.
What? Oh, dear.
What?
The details of the autopsy report have been updated in the court record.
The fucking bitch.
What do you mean by that? Why was the time of death indeterminate?
When the specimen was brought in, it was still fresh. So the time of death could easily have coincided with when the gunshot was heard. But there was one small discrepancy.
What discrepancy?
There was some fried fish in the pocket of the specimen's overcoat.
It was
Oh my God.
old.
That fish had started to rot.
Jesus!
Interesting.
What?
If the victim liked fried fish, he presumably liked to eat it before it went off.
Well, yes.
Hopefully.
What are you really trying to say?
It's possible that someone tried to manipulate the apparent time of death.
Manipulate the... Is that even possible to do?
Theoretically, if you were to chill the body in ice, you could delay the onset of putrefaction. And if the overcoat wasn't on the body at the time,
Then only the fish would have started to rot.
with today's science, it's not yet possible to determine if the body was chilled or not.
But today's science is advanced enough to let you freeze a corpse, it seems.
But surely... to chill a corpse like that would require an enormous electrical refrigerator.
Like the one on
I don't
Morgue has?
imagine many households in London are equipped with such a device.
Morgue might. No, definitely not. But maybe a factory? Or some other special places?
I don't recall seeing any factors or such like on Fresno Street, though. Factories or such like on Fresno Street. I wonder if the inspector's body could have been had been chilled somehow. What might the actual time of death have been?
I couldn't say for sure. But at the most, it might have been a day earlier.
No.
In other words, it would corroborate your previous deduction, Mr. Naruhodo. That Inspector Gregson was killed the day before his body was discovered, at a different location.
Did you inform Lord Strongheart of this possibility?
He simply said that there was no electrical refrigerators of that size in the vicinity.
Oh, yes, one other thing. It's something the governor of Barclay Prison told us. He said that your mother, Dr. Scythe, was responsible for confirming the death of the professor after his execution.
The professor?
Apparently, you always enjoyed listening to your mother's stories about her work, so we were wondering if you might know something about what happened 10 years ago.
That's not all Mama did.
Sorry?
My Mama carried out the autopsy of Clint Van Zeeks as well.
Ooh.
What? Really? Brother of Lord Van Zeeks? The professor's final victim?
The idea of carrying out an autopsy on a member of the aristocracy was completely unthinkable back then. But the detective in charge of the investigation insisted. and it was miraculously authorized.
That being the Inspector Gregson, of course.
Quite an accomplishment for one man.
That autopsy report... That autopsy report... I keep wanting to say autopsy report, damn it! That autopsy provided the vital clue needed to arrest the killer. And Mama was there for that historic event.
What does all this mean?
You know, that amazing autopsy happened right here in this very room. The Professor and Clint von Zinks. They both spent their final moments before their burial on that dissection table there. So this lab, Mama's lab, was instrumental in some of the country's most important events.
She really is proud of her mother. I wonder if you'd tell us more about exactly what happened back then, Dr. Gory?
Her eyes look like someone painted them onto her face. They look too big.
Mm-hmm.
Our love.
I don't like looking at her.
She's very.
It doesn't help that, like, the bottom lash doesn't move at all, and that makes it look more fake. The Professor's execution was Mama's first big case. She had to be in attendance at Park Lake Prison's execution chamber. And signed the certificate to confirm the convict's death. Mama is the best coroner in the world, you know. I was so proud of her.
But the execution didn't actually take place.
No. And worse still, Mama actually helped with the jailbreak. I didn't want to know. I should have something here.
You found out recently, you mean?
I believed in her. In Mama. But... now I wonder if I'm starting down the same path as her.
You mean because you admitted the time of death on his autopsy report? But that's because Lord Strongheart forbade you from including it.
Just like Mama. I'm sure she was coerced by somebody too.
Yes, that's my feeling as well.
There's no doubt that there were powerful forces at play 10 years ago. The execution couldn't have been staged without a lot of people at the prison knowing about it. Obviously, the prison governor must have been in on it as well.
The big man with the little handcuffs, according to what he told us. He was tricked by the chief warder. He says he knew nothing about it.
Of course he said that. I'd say the same thing.
Just who was behind that jailbreak all those years ago? It would make sense that it was Caden and they let Vigil take the fall for it.
Yeah. I'm so there's like two different parts of this that I'm seeing, and it's like part one is Genshin Asogi was framed to be the professor, and part two was a group of people broke him out, but he still died.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who, like which side of this was Strongheart on?
Strongheart
And
shot
why?
him.
Strongheart shot him, yeah, but was he also part of the breakout? Or was he part of the cover-up?
I mean, it could have been.
I'd say probably just the cover-up, because if he's going to break him out, he would have just let... If he was going to kill him, he would have just let him get executed.
Yeah.
Right. Selphie would like us to have...
Or we found out there was some sort of plot, and... like...
Wanted to double make sure.
wanted to get himself involved.
So weird.
You
Because it's
mentioned-
like now he's like covering up the escape. What does he want? What is his motivations?
You mentioned the autopsy of Clint Van Zieks.
Well, he wanted to cover up the escape because if people found out that they helped this guy escape, people would be like, why? And then they'd look into it and find out that he wasn't actually a professor.
Right.
It was at a time when carrying out autopsies of murder victims was very unusual.
Still, not a practice that's observed in our country even now.
It turned out that he was the professor's final victim, and when the autopsy was performed, Ma was present, although only as the secondary assistant. The person leading the procedure was called Dr. John H. Wilson.
Hey,
Oh,
That
there
got-
we
that-
go.
that gets every single one of them involved except for Asa.
Yeah.
So what was she doing? What was she up to? That's right. That's my daddy.
And there was one other person present, the primary assistant. He was a visiting student from the Far East.
Mikotaba.
Eugen!
Yeah, Mikotaba.
Mhm.
Wait, a visiting student?
It must have been my father, Eugen Mikotaba.
I had no idea Professor Mikotaba had been involved in something so important.
But the outcome of that historic autopsy was the discovery of a vital piece of evidence that led to the capture of the professor.
So that's how they came to identify Genshin Misoki as the infamous mass murderer. Do you happen to know anything about that piece of evidence? Can you tell us any more?
Would you like to see the records for yourself?
What, would that be alright?
What's the point of keeping records if people can't look at them? They're filed under V at the back of those cupboards, with the other records from the last decade.
Thank you. Let's see. Van Zieks. That's strange.
What, Mr. Naruhodo?
They
I was like waiting for it to happen.
aren't here. There's nothing under Van Zieks.
There must be!
Perhaps somebody took them away?
No. No one's allowed to take documents related to the professor case out of this room. But you're right. They're gone.
Well, when was the last time somebody looked at them? Do you remember?
It was... Oh yes, I remember now. It was 2 years ago.
I don't like that sprite.
I like all of her sprites. This is just fucking getting the fucking middle school goth.
I do love
Paul
everything
just comes
about
out of me.
her entire
She's
vibe is-
great. I
yeah.
love it.
Consulting detective came one day saying that he'd like to see the records. Here we go, we're getting Sholmes in.
No,
No fucking way.
you don't
No,
mean.
it's not Sholmes. It's Osanaga.
Sholmes was his name. This is how we get him to be the one we're defending in the next trial.
Deep down, I knew that was coming.
Do you think he stole the records?
It's a crazy stuff.
Yes.
and and that's what's hidden in the Hound
I'm
of
muted.
Baskervilles?
Oh, surely not. Iris, that can't be right, can it?
Oh, I've actually already read them. Sorry, he's not very good at hiding them in the apartment.
Iris.
Are these the Baskerville?
Yeah, that's what I was just
Both?
saying.
Yeah.
Is my
I
mic
was too
on?
busy realizing I was muted
I
and
heard
freaking
you
out for a
say it,
second.
yeah.
Bruno. Why are we... Okay. I hope you don't mind, but...
What is it, Iris?
I just remembered something very important I have to go do. I'm going to have to leave you now.
Okay.
I'm a small girl on a mission. I'm going to walk home by myself.
Oh, this is very sudden, Iris. Suspiciously sudden. Well, we'll come with you then.
Oh, no, there's no need. You and Runo can take your time here. Bye for now then. Good luck.
Wait a minute, little girl.
I wanted to be your new sister. Me? My second
I remember now. You've been here before, haven't you?
Did
Keep on a
Iris-
9-year-old.
Did Iris take them? Have you, Iris?
Yes, 2 years ago, when that detective came.
Iris, did you take the notes?
You were here with him, weren't you? You were a living specimen then, too.
I was like, if it's hidden in the Baskerville, then Iris would know what it is. Iris knows what it is because she stole them.
That's the way it usually works, yes?
Was I? I really don't remember.
That's an easy, right?
And anyway, sorry, but a mustache. Yeah, she's like trying to cover her face.
Wait, Iris.
I'll grab a hold of you when I get home. When you get home.
What's the matter with her? She's behaving really strangely all of a sudden.
She just Naruto ran out of here.
Well, in that case, we won't keep you any longer either.
It's been quite a while since I had any visitors. This was really fun.
Yes, that is what Alex said. They're not good at reading.
But
it's
next
fine.
time you come, I'd prefer it if you were ready for our section.
I can't make any promises, sorry.
Come back dead, please.
Look, Iris was also distressed, so she's got some of their flesh that she's making into tea. Some great meat tea.
Ugh.
It's a bit strange that the records of Clint Van Seeks' autopsy have disappeared. But I think we've asked all that we came to ask now.
Hey Iris, what the fuck?
Fucking hate her.
Of course she's not here. She's sitting at her desk, freaking the fuck out. Interesting.
Is it messier there than it used to be, or? Oh.
No,
think it's-
I don't think so.
It
I
hasn't
think it's a little
changed.
messy.
Motherfucker. Oh,
God
All
damn
right.
it.
he gone.
He's gone.
That boy gone. Oh, no, stuff. There's your chest on the floor.
The police is still busily investigating in here then.
But Gina's nowhere to be seen. Where is she?
That box opens and she unfurls like an inflatable tube man.
Yes, it has been blissfully quiet, hasn't it? Perhaps she's out investigating on her own, practicing what her boss taught her.
Well, I expect she to be back before too long. Shall we wait?
Actually, there's something different about this room since the last time we were here, isn't there?
We can always use the time to investigate more thoroughly.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
This little trunk wasn't here before, was it?
Oh, it appears to be made of metal. Must be very heavy.
It's got a giant gash in the side of it.
I wonder to whom it belongs. There are some initials on the outside. Look, TG.
That could be anyone.
That could be anyone.
Pius Gregson?
Could be anyone.
Anyone.
Let's
Could be anyone.
Let's
Yeah,
ask
George,
one of the
George.
policemen if they know how it came to be here.
The ghost.
Tyrus Gwilson.
Oi! What do you think you're doing? That's my trunk. It is. Hands off.
Gina.
What? Where were you hiding?
I don't know. You leave something unattended for a few seconds, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got his grey eyes on it.
Just a wild guess, Gina, but...
What? Spit it out, Odo.
Is it fair to say that you've only owned that trunk since this morning's trial?
What? What are you trying to say? Tina distraught. Come on. This trunk goes with me everywhere. Always has. Where have you been the last year?
Trying not to incur your wrath, mainly.
You should hear him talking at the yard now. They should be ashamed of themselves. They're saying that it was the boss who killed all them burglars. Bludgers.
Ah, you mean the whole Reaper thing.
Yeah. Apparently the boss was investigating stuff that no one else at the yard knew nothing about. There are all them criminals what got off scot-free.
Yes, the ones prosecuted by Lord Van Zeeks who used bribery and corruption to evade conviction.
Well, obviously it was that blooming Reaper giving the orders, wasn't it?
But why would people be suspecting Inspector Gregson of being involved in the killings?
There was a notebook in his office.
Oh no. This doesn't sound good.
Had details about all crimes that have been pages of the Reaper's work.
What?
Did you see it, Gina? Did you see that notebook?
They won't blame and let me, because I'm just an apprentice, apparently. But it was me who found it, and he was my boss.
That's right.
Pretty miffed about it, so I took it. Sneaked a peek at what I said anyway.
Oh,
That's our Gina. So, you managed to see what was written in Gregson's secret notebook anyway, did you?
Well, I see it. It's my right what he wrote. Right to read what he wrote.
sorry. The guy. I'm on the second floor, and the people across, like my neighbors, just put up the floodlight on their roof so they can be in the courtyard between our houses, and it's like right at eye level with me. I've never been over at this table before, and they did that. so distracted the hell out of me for a second. Sorry.
They've
And
seen
what had he
you.
written, Gina?
Dates, time, places, names, and a long list of them. Gina learned how to read since the last case. Any details about blood is supposed to have been done by the Reaper?
Stan, a now literate queen.
But there could be an explanation for that. Perhaps it was a record of the inspector's investigations into the Reaper's activities.
Exactly! That's what I said! That's the first thing you'd think, right? As it happens, was full of names I recognized anyway.
Well, the Reaper's targets were almost exclusively known leaders of London's criminal underworld.
Oh, be a minute, shut the blinds.
Well, yeah, but there was one name right at the end that was a bit odd.
At the end of the list, you mean?
I'm pretty sure the date against it was the 31st October.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh.
the day before the inspector was found dead. So,
Say?
what was the old name?
It wasn't like a name I've ever seen before. It's something like... it's no good, I can't remember it. I don't think it was an English name. I don't think it was an English name, put it that way. Oh,
I was just thinking about it. Is Asashin a assassin pun?
that's... yeah.
Oh wow, it's a double
Yeah.
pun. That's
Double
great.
pun?
Yeah,
If it is, that's fucking great.
it's brilliant. Yeah, Asian
Actually.
assassin. Yeah, what the fuck?
Good call. Oh dear, what a pity.
What if Gregson found
The
out
name
the
of
Reaper
the-
was targeting Kazuma? I mean, it could have been also too. Like it's we've got some options here. Now it's more than just us.
I was more just thinking like of names that we haven't. I was like, wait a minute, like
Names
it
we
poured
haven't
over my head a
heard
couple
of.
times. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
Yeah. She also, I feel like, would know Kazuma. Like she would be. She knows enough about Kazuma now to be able to recognize his name if it was written down. So it could have been any of the our two new boys. There was something else too. I don't know if it matters, but the same name kept coming up over and over. Shin it was.
Yep.
Don't suppose it means anything, but well, that means it distinctly wasn't the last name in the book, because that was just a name that kept coming up elsewhere. So it wasn't her at the end of the interesting.
Right, it could have been,
It could have been Migatoba. Like he was being targeted. He was like the last target. Yeah, yeah.
We still don't know where he is.
Yeah, he hasn't
We
seen him.
still
We
don't
haven't seen
know
him in a
where
while.
he is. Did you say Shin?
Oh, what? Does it mean something?
Lord Van Zeeks knew the name too. He mentioned her as well. The woman who actually did the deeds. And now, we find out her name appeared in Gregson's secret notebook.
Strike this. Don't even fuck around with me. A woman who died 3 months prior. Everyone was fucking raising from the dead. People are dead who's not dead. People who fucking are
Gregson
alive
met-
who should be dead.
Gregson, like, she said it came up elsewhere. She was probably meeting with... she
Yeah,
probably met with
but also this
Jigoku.
was... Yeah.
It was probably Seishiro Jigoku, which is why she didn't know what it was and why she can't remember it.
Yeah.
She's never
She's
heard
never
that name
she's never
before.
met that guy. She's never heard the name. But he's like Trite this is specifically saying that she's ruled out because she's dead. And I'm like, that's bullshit.
I mean, I think she's actually dead, but you know. We haven't seen you for a little while, have we, Gina?
Well, of course not. I've been busy, ain't I, investigating in that? The swan's still at large! Mini Memo killed the woman, not the swan. The lads at the yard are trying to trace the boss's movements the day before it happened.
The day before... That would be the undercover investigation into the Red-Headed League, then.
Only the bosses didn't go, did he? You found some of what he was pretending to be him, didn't you, Odo?
Yes, it was Mr. Vigil who actually went to the park on Lime Street that day, posing as Gregson.
Well, anyway, you ain't the only one who's turning stuff up. I've got my own ways of getting results. It's a ratatouille situation, but it's a racist swan who's also an assassin.
My God.
when me and my partner get here together, there's nothing we can't track down.
Oh, little Toby! He's such a faithful friend.
So, have you tracked down anything, then?
What do you think? Of course we have. Can't tell you though, police business, isn't it? Anyway, point is, if you lot ever need any help, you know who to turn to, right? Me and the Hellhound here.
Right.
This is the Hound of Baskerville.
Because he looks oh so hellish. Honest. Gina, about your hellhound there?
Chief Inspector Toby, you mean? He's the pride of the force, he is.
In Japanese, police dog means something quite different, and not altogether nice to those involved in crime. But here in Britain, it's a wonderful compliment, it seems. For a canine, at least.
Nah, pigs be pigs everywhere. It's okay, Sasato.
It should be. After all, in the Great Exhibition case the other day, it was Toby here who managed to locate Trevor's workshop.
Maybe it's time for another demonstration of what his super dog can do, eh?
Do we have something the Chief Inspector could catch the scent of, I wonder?
Do we have anything smelly?
The
wig.
The wig?
The wig's so smelly.
Take that!
Well, Chief Inspector Toby, if you wouldn't mind having a sniff of this.
She's
Oh,
holding
he's so
him
good.
like a gun.
He's so good.
He might be a little too keen, don't you think?
Ah!
Chief Inspector made short work of Gina there. Woof!
Oh, I guess we just had to do something of Gregson's.
Ah, look what he's gone to.
Oh my, that trunk clearly still has a very strong scent. Inspector Gregson?
In other words, it must have belonged to him.
Oh, alright. It's a fair cop, I suppose.
You nearly got away with it too.
Wasn't from around Metley Dawn.
You always talk so proudly of the Chief Inspector Toby's nose and what it can achieve. Did it not cross your mind that he might identify something that was right next to us?
Yeah, that was a bit of a bloomer, wasn't it?
That's enough now then, Gina.
Eh!
I think it's time you told us the truth about that trunk.
I honestly forgot about it. It wasn't like that. It just went.
What are you talking about?
I know what's behind the head of yours, but that ain't what had happened.
Alright then, what did happen?
Well, like I said before, we were trying to trace the boss's movements. But Toby gave a whiff of the boss's overcoat. And as soon as I'd done that, he went off like a shot. Straight to that sandwich.
Oh,
Did Beppo take something?
to a sandwich. Not to a bag of chips.
Mr. Naruto, I believe Gina means the witness.
Oh, god damn it, Miles.
Miles said BRB. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot about that sandwich.
Yeah, in between them wooden boards of his, the boss's trunk. Was it the thing he was standing on the whole case? Was he standing on it the whole
He just
time?
had it. He was just fucking holding it. You mean when they heard the sound like a gunshot and all piled in here?
Exactly, and nabbed it from the stain.
Goodness.
Me and the chief inspector gave that sandwich a good grilling. And you know what he said?
I thought that it might have fetched a good price, and that the chap wouldn't be needing it anymore, so... But that's all I did! And the chap wouldn't be... Nope, I'm looking at... But that's all I did! Nothing more, nothing less!
I didn't. It auto.
Yeah, I figured.
You, would you, Adam, and believe that's Jacob, eh? Stealing in the dead boss's stuff to flog.
I like how you just said the thing it's rhyming after.
I said Adam and Eve.
No, you said Adam and believe.
Did I?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. No, Shaz, the point they're making is that, Beppo had the trunk, which is Gregson's, which Toby found because he sniffed the coat. Which was on Gregson.
And Gina was pretending it wasn't Gregson's.
Yeah.
But it definitely is Gregson.
So, Miss Venus wasn't the only one to meddle with the scene of the crime, then?
How could they? How could they?
Miles.
I just got back.
So
I'm really
anyway,
sorry.
that's how it happened.
Look at his tail.
They're a pretty decent trunk, so I figured I might as well make use of it. Something's wrong with that. Is there something wrong with that? Well,
Maybe you and Mr. Sandwich tried to find the answer to that question together.
I don't think he's got much next to kin more than just Gina. So,
Right, but it is evidence.
yeah, no, definitely.
I think that perhaps the trunk should be turned over to the police, don't you?
I am the police. What are you on about? I'm damn the police.
I'm the M. I'm the M, the police.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Love that video.
So good. Gina, if you wouldn't mind, could we maybe examine it?
Alright then. Do what you want with it.
Thank you. We shall make a detailed record of our examination of the evidence. Let's talk about this thing for a while.
Gregson's trunk has been entered in the court record.
Time to do a spinny.
Oh. Oh,
Hey, Toby.
Toby?
Toby? He doesn't want us taking it.
What's the matter with Toby? Why is he acting so aggressively towards me all of a sudden?
Mr. Naruhodo, be careful. It must be the trunk.
Oh, Toby!
Oh, oh,
Oh, God!
Toby, Jesus!
Toby jump scare! Holy shit!
Good lord, I don't like that.
What the fuck?
Toby, what are you doing? He got like his...
Mr. Naruhodo! Mr. Naruhodo! Gina, quickly, helicarriage!
Naruto gets fucking mauled!
God damn, Toby!
What the hell?
What the fuck?
That animation was great.
It
But
was
oh my god.
terrible.
What the shit? Right, that was super FNAF. FNAF. The fuck?
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo, are you alright?
Nothing, I was just concurring with Chad.
Mr. Soto. Hey.
Hey man.
Forgot you're dressed like that.
Every time.
Shasta.
You're muted.
Shasta.
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 I also was just talking in chat.
Shasta. What the
Right?
fuck?
She's here, right?
What are you doing?
Shasta.
Sorry, I was grabbing the food.
You
Worst possible
fool!
time.
You
Listen, we weren't anywhere near here. I didn't figure I'd be showing up.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't
Expected
expect
Bob
Toby
Holy
to
in
eat
that
us.
cross country.
You must maybe had to whip out my Sholmes, and it's fucking awful.
Nobody ever expects the Sholmes.
No one
He
expects-
can
I don't
show
want
up
Alex to put one out
anywhere at
either.
any time. You have to always be ready.
Always be ready.
I
Always
didn't even
be
have
ready
any
for
water
a
to
shot.
hydrate when I was forced to. I needed.
ABRFS. Always be ready for Sholmes.
Oh, consciousness again at last. A blessed relief, my dear fellow.
God damn it, Trifus.
Oh, I put on water for tea. I'm gonna use this hydrate as an option to go get it. Give me 1 second. It's boiling.
I have to go get water anyway, so take 2.
I
Okay.
just took a sip of my drink, so
I
I'm gonna
just
count that.
ordered boba. It's gonna be
Man.
here in like an hour.
Do I want to get boba?
Yes, you do.
Y'all stop spending all your money on boba.
This would be my second. This would be my second time in 2 weeks, as opposed to Alex's Alex
I
is
got one
straight on
earlier this
addiction
week.
at this point.
It's so good. I get the jumbo strawberry slush
Jumbo strawberry slush boba.
with regular boba and rainbow jelly, and it's fucking delicious. And it just sits there because it's in a bucket, and so I just
I
can
think
suck
it would be
on
more cost effective for you at this point to get your stuff to make your own.
I wish I could. I've been trying to find it. No one has it. There's actually an Asian market like around the corner from where I work, where I'll sometimes like go pick up lunch. And I've actually like looked around there to see if I can find the materials, and the only like make it yourself thing is specifically they have like brown sugar boba, but like it's with like it's not just the boba, it's also the drink. I'm like, but I want the boba. I don't need the actual drink, I just want the boba, and then I can put the boba on whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, you can make boba. Just gotta find like a recipe for the boba. It's like tapioca flour.
Yeah,
Back
but
to
that's
tea.
like a lot more complicated than what I want. I just want like a jar.
I want somebody else to have made all the boba, and I just
I
want
want
boba.
a jar of it. Why don't they just sell it by the jar like they do like the candy cherries?
I don't know. Maybe you're just not
Oh, the
looking at
maraschinos?
right places.
Yeah.
don't know if they... Alright. Does anybody sell... Sorry, I didn't... It did that to me. I didn't do it.
We'd already said that anyways.
It's fine.
After all, you're not dead after a moderate licking by a small terrier.
You
Most
can buy...
unseemly.
You can buy instant boba. I don't know what that means.
That it sounds like one of those things. Dump tea on it and then.
Instant boba. Fresh, ready in seconds. Delicious boba from the comfort of your home. All you need is a cup and a microwave.
We do not recommend boiling the boba.
Molly, the way you read that with like fresh, ready in seconds, I could have sworn it was going to be a third adjective, which was sexy.
Fresh, ready?
Ready and sexy.
I mean, it was
Hell
fresh
yeah.
boba ready in seconds.
Yeah, very
Ready
close.
and sexy.
There's a picture here of boba on like tapioca pearls on top of pancakes.
Yeah,
Oh,
it looks like
that sounds
blueberries.
great. Actually, I'd eat that shit.
It's actually very unsettling.
I'm sure.
It is
I'm sure the
bizarre.
texture
They
is
kind of
kinda
look
weird.
like very large
That's
caviar.
why I like them because of the texture.
Here you
I
go,
love how
Alex.
fucking
Let me
weird
send
the
you
texture
this.
is. I'm very sensitive
go.
about texture, and there's a lot of stuff I fucking hate. But when I love something, I'm addicted to it.
Here you go. You can have
The
fresh, ready
textures.
boba in 30 to 40 seconds.
30 to 40 seconds.
That's what I said.
Yes. I'm just gonna fucking and then get a jar and then dump a whole bunch of like keep it forever.
Well, don't do that. It looks like it comes in packs. There are 5 packs.
Yeah.
And then you get
Yeah,
yourself
I
a
really
little-
would just like make it and then just snack on them.
Just do a little munch on some boba.
I would not put them in any liquid. I'm buying this.
Great.
This is cheaper than the entire drink that I just bought.
Yeah, that's fair. I could save $4 with a coupon if I bought it. Anyway, we're going back to.
No, there's no free shipping option.
we're going back to this.
Okay,
Anyway.
anyway. Shasta, you did not say this.
I certainly did.
Anyway,
No,
please say
Molly
it again.
clicked through it.
After all, to drop dead after a moderate licking by a small terrier. Most unseemly.
We found out that he's actually allergic to dogs in the worst way.
What is or isn't seemly isn't relevant here, Mr. Sholmes.
Full on fell over.
The force of Susato's will knocked him to the ground.
I'm so glad there's so lasting damage. How are you feeling?
I'm fine, thank you. Did you bring me back here? Oh, what's this on my head? A bandage?
Sadly, we had no ice, so that's a compress of sugar water.
What?
What?
Sugar water?
Don't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a first aid treatment that my father taught me.
Right, well, as long as it was Susato's idea.
Yeah, right. Right. I'm thinking the same thing.
Oh. Thank you.
So, let's just take tea while you're feeling up to it. But of course, no sugar in the patient's cup.
The bump on my head is throbbing sweetly enough, don't worry.
Mm-hmm. Whenever you feel ready, then.
Fucking...
Oh, I didn't realize they were shorts. Oh, that's so good.
He really just threw this together.
I mean, he looks good though.
Great. It's so good.
Iris hasn't been here to greet us, or was she?
No, she's not here.
She
That's
went
why I
off
feel
somewhere
like
we don't know where.
We're gonna go to T and be like, oh yeah, I heard Iris was making some for us, and he's like, oh, Iris is not back yet.
And
That's
we'll
exactly
go,
what's gonna happen.
Thank you for your concern, Mr. Sholmes.
My dear fellow, think nothing of it. I must say I was quite startled when I heard that you'd been attacked by a dog. For a moment, I feared that the infamous murderer of so many had come back from the dead.
Well, that's a good point.
You mean the professor?
Fortunately, I see your prized throat is unscathed.
What?
Christ, what?
I'm sorry?
It's supposed to be for Cosma only.
That stiff, turned-up color of yours obviously afforded some welcome protection.
Was I that close to death? All I really remember is the dog licking my face over and over and over again.
What a hell of a... We gotta end this scene somehow, but we also can't make Toby a vicious dog. So it's going to have to be a violent licking attack.
A certified Nintendogs
Oh
moment.
my god. You're right.
Well, if you wish to avoid such troubles in future, a little mustard spread on the cheek should do the trick.
I'm sorry?
I should think that would balance the sweetness of your bandage rather splendidly.
I think he means like to avoid your mouth and nose where you pass out because you're being suffocated. Put some mustard on your cheek.
Or dogs
Hold
probably
it.
just don't like mustard.
Possible.
I mean, I think he just means because we've got a sugar bandage on our face.
Try this, Jesus Christ. Hydrate, posture check, and stretch.
Mustard seeds are unsafe for dogs.
Oh,
Oh.
God, Charles! Trying to kill
Next
Toby!
time, kill the fucking dog. Take your shot.
Gotta take care of mine.
It seems like it's unsafe in the it'll give them stomach issues way.
Oh,
Okay.
poor puppies.
Like, probably a lot worse if you give them a ton of it, but like, mostly you're gonna have issues later.
If my Elgato worked, if I could hook my DS up to my Elgato, I would stream Nintendogs. I'd do it.
I've like been seriously considering buying a capture card 3DS, which is not as expensive as I thought it would be. So I'm like, maybe.
Mit dem Schwarzbiergebot. Rodent wie ein Feuer.
Oh, excuse me?
Oh!
Und es mir verbrannt. Ach, ob meine Wut.
Iris, what did you do?
Is that you, Jin?
Yes!
What the
okay, it's
fuck
Eugene.
is happening?
I'm like, what?
She poisoned Eugen and then dressed him up and then started playing music.
It's a dude singing in German.
Yeah.
From the sound of it, it's probably come from the gramophone back there.
Yes. Hey Iris, what the fuck
Iris,
did you
what?
It's a
do?
fucking incredible way to come back.
I wish you could get rid of the text like Danganronpa. Fucking hell.
What on earth is going on in here? Am I having a bad dream?
This sounds like an anthem, like a national anthem.
Oh no, it is an old German folk song. Rather a fine rendition, I think.
Oh, okay.
That's the least of my concerns.
Iris?
Iris is who we're defending next.
Like there's a cup or the whole pot is
Yeah,
busted
it's
on the
smashed.
floor.
Yeah.
It's definitely Eugene. It's got the
Oh, yeah.
suit
Yeah.
and the mustache and
Yeah,
the little
that's
hat.
Eugene.
Yeah.
Why is he
But
wearing a
wearing, like-
mask? Why is he
Why is he wearing a blanket over
Why
him?
does he have the fucking table doily on his chest?
The chest. Speaking of the table doily, the chest is open.
Yeah, that's Cosmo's mask.
Yes.
It's Cosmo's mask. Yeah.
That's the
was
stuff that
sitting
was
on
on
the
top
table.
of. That was the stuff that was on top of the trunk.
Yeah, and the trunk's open, which means that she was getting at her manuscripts.
Iris, what's the matter?
Who is that sprawling, that relaxed gentleman over there?
Iris? Is she even listening?
Excuse me, sir. I do apologize for troubling whilst you are singing so merrily, but... Would you be kind enough to explain the situation?
Well, that worked.
A crooning gentleman and a mute young girl. A rather tantalizing juxtaposition. And one that appears to have incited the gods of deduction within me to find their voices, too.
Oh, we're seriously doing a
dance of deduction
They had
setup.
to find somewhere to shove it in.
Oh, yes.
And the rest of the case is too
Iris.
serious.
I think this is the first time Iris is present for one, right?
Yeah?
Me.
And she's not gonna
Because
talk.
she's not gonna correct.
Oh, Mr. Jones, do you mean...
The strains of reasoning within me are playing now as a delightful duet. One melody, scenes of a reunion full of nostalgia. Whilst the other is the morose theme about the great secret you're trying so desperately to conceal, Iris. She hasn't taken her hand from behind her back.
She's turned as white as a sheet.
So as usual, you've instantly seen to the very heart of the matter.
Now we get to spin Iris.
And by the time my own brief performance is over, I feel sure this gentleman's song will reach its finale. So then, to Musicland, where all is sweetness and delicacy and harmony.
We go through all of this silly
Pray, do enjoy Sherlock Sholmes' latest logic and reasoning spectacular.
And it turns out he is just actually fully dead.
Mm-hmm. That's the fear in it.
They wouldn't do it after. They wouldn't make a whole bit.
But the thing is they would. Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly, he's a German, with no grasp of the English language. As evidenced by the Germanic song he sings and his apparent inability to understand when asked to desist. So, why is the man here at all, and in such apparently high spirits?
Hey.
The answer, of course, Iris, is clearly known to you. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel this particular part of the mystery. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea.
Yep, that's it.
You obviously offered our German guest a cup of your latest herbal blend.
What if she's got something in her mouth? That's
The
why
tea's
she can't
delectable
talk.
flavor has made the man's spirit soar, and resulted in this joyful ditty tumbling incessantly from his lips. I eagerly await sampling the flavor myself, that I may join the fellow in his state of elation.
Her eyes.
She's been doing. Her face hasn't changed from the like puffed up cheeks. I think she does actually have something in her mouth.
Now, to the next question.
She's got like a piece of paper shoved in there.
Yeah!
Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the city? City?
City, you're right.
Cool. As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my services in solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. Irene Adler? We're getting there, finally?
She's from Jersey, isn't she? Like New Jersey?
She's American.
I don't know, but that story sounds like what it was.
I mean, I think she was fucking with some kind of big noble.
Some noble fucked her and didn't want that to get known to his wife and everyone else.
That's what
And she had proof. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived in my office in a mask. This gentleman's name was Wilhelm Gostreich Sigmund von Ornstein.
Oh, is that
That's
the dad?
kid.
It's the boy.
That's the boy.
It's
The
boy.
King of Germany.
Oh my god.
What?
I mean, he was probably the second, and we just forgot that. So,
No, I
That
mean,
tracks.
he wasn't the second, but
if my
Some
memory
years ago,
serves,
third.
the mask worn by this gentleman is identical. Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to the King of Germany.
It's just fucking nuts, Jones.
It would appear that His Majesty remembers the fine service I afforded him, and has decided to show his face again, mask and all, in order to express his gratitude.
yep.
A well-mannered monarch indeed. Wouldn't you agree, my dear fellow?
I love Iris's facial expressions this whole
That's
time.
my
I
favorite
was like,
right now.
no, not really.
So the identity of this masked visitor is in fact my former client, the King of Germany.
Yep.
Hmm.
That's it.
Indeed, his son is currently in London as well, enjoying the wonders of the Great Exhibition.
That's true.
Okay, there's this,
Wait a
quick
second.
change.
Wait a second.
That's funny.
Got a frog in there.
But she leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. But your apparently inexplicable silence is unable to hide the truth. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that knapsack.
She does have some stuff
Okay,
in
she's
there.
One of her
I
hands
found
seems
note,
to
I
be
believe.
closed.
I must say, as your compatriot, I am deeply saddened.
No, I think she's got it stuffed in her mouth.
It would appear that you've allowed yourself to be bribed into silence by His Royal Highness,
You think that's money?
earning yourself some spending money in exchange for keeping quiet about the King's secret.
Mm.
He's so cute.
And now, the final piece of the puzzle. What is this secret you strive to hide with your silence, Iris? Ah, yes, we need only follow that brief, involuntary twitch of your eyes to find the answer. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. My favorite coffee cup, in fact. Or should I say, the handle of my favorite coffee cup. It appears that His High-Spirited Highness broke it in the midst of his high use.
Oh, sorry. Ow.
You
Did
okay?
you fall? What happened?
No, I just sneezed.
Bless you.
Mm.
Like really hard.
Bless you.
Yeah. Ugh.
One of the ones that rocks your whole world for a second. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
like, where am I?
Nice job catching the mute button, I guess, right?
I guess the microphone didn't pick it up for you guys, but
Iverson said no. I'm sure Stream heard it though. Which leads us to the sad truth. My favorite coffee cup has been broken by the King of Germany! And Iris, you tried to conceal it from me!
I
Well-
fucking love Sholmes so much.
It's so fucking funny, dude.
Well,
Oh my
someone
God.
broke your favorite coffee cup, I guess. Oh,
It was Jesus.
I shall have a bill sent via governmental channels to the German royal family for its replacement.
Iris, what? How could you betray him like this?
How could you do this, Iris?
Could betray.
Everybody always betray me. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this painful puzzle.
Oh,
This is fucking so
my
good.
It's so
God.
stupid.
He can't believe you've done this.
And in canon, this happened with that sort of droning German voice just going the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Iris said that, or Sholmes said Iris was carrying a 5-pound note.
Her mit dem Knacker ich befahl, hat wie ein Diamant den Zahn entzwei.
I don't have a line to say.
No, I
Yeah, we're
know.
just listening.
Er dem seid holdlich gelobt und auf
I would love to read a translation of this.
Squirty, I
We could find
appreciate.
one.
I very much appreciate that reference, Squirty. That's an old one.
Holy shit, that's a lot of money.
Her mit dem Schwarzbierch gebot, Boden
With your silence as well. As well, the fellow's jovial warbling rather rings in the ears, does it not?
Her mit dem Knacker ich befahl, hat
Mr. Sholmes,
Diamant den Zahn entzwei.
I must say something does rather trouble me. Just one thing.
Pray, Mr. Sato, do tell.
His Royal Highness doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived.
Ah,
And you haven't said a word either, Iris. If Mr. Sholmes says it all right, you might as well own up to it now.
This is one of the cutest she's been, and it's a high bar.
your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit.
And
And
one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
yet another grievance, Mr. Naruhodo? Surely not.
Well, I actually read the story of that case recently. The one you were just describing. And according to that, at least, it wasn't the King of Germany. It was the King of Bohemia.
Goodness, was it?
Yes, that's quite true. Master Gotz, the prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way home from my home in Bohemia.
Hey, nice man.
I would ask you to keep in mind that keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal.
I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's now our turn to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in.
Yes, even Mr. Sholmes is willing to admit he might be slightly wide of the mark this time. Although it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something. We need to find out the truth behind this mysterious scene.
But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite coffee cup is no more.
That's the real tragedy here.
So, shall we embark again? On a joint presentation of Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular.
Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. It's the gramophone.
You dummy.
So what? It's some mix of herbs that gives you the urge to sing.
Goodness, I should like to try some.
And I'd like to hear your singing, but this man, just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune, do you suppose?
As I said, he's been stock still this entire time, and if you look closely, his lips aren't moving either.
Oh.
Oh, I thought that was you because it was back and forth. So I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing. Certainly not that weirdo, but I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris's gaze.
Her gaze. The gaze.
No, my gaze! Fuck! Like, he finally got her to open up.
There we go, okay. I couldn't turn the way I thought that I was gonna be able to turn.
Stick your finger in his mouth, that'll wake him up.
Wait, this is...
It's a gramophone, still rarely seen in our own country. The sound certainly appears to be coming from the horn.
But machine singing? That can't be right.
Science and technology are changing the world rapidly, Mr. Naruhodo. What's right is changing too.
Oh, it's too much for my brain.
Well, at least we found our answer.
Take that!
Oh, so cute!
He does look very good doing this in that suit.
Okay, yeah, he does actually look hot as hell. Good for him.
He looks hot as hell, but also look at the little tube.
Oh, look at him!
The reason for this, the man's mildly irritating warbling, is revealed by the gramophone.
Indeed, for no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call.
You would.
I would not.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, this gentleman isn't seen it at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow was unconscious.
Please turn it off. Thank God.
Oh, thank the Lord.
Ah. The music seems to have stopped now.
I ask you, Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes?
why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish?
How should I know?
Well, never mind. On with the deduction.
Lord.
Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly of the satire?
That's
But
my
he-
dad!
It's my dad. Woogie, woogie, woogie.
Did Sholmes get involved because Yushin came to ask him about the professor case?
That would make sense.
Ooh.
Sholmes would have been in his early 20s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just starting out.
Although we've already established that it was actually the King of Bohemia.
It seems Mr. Sholmes intends to persist with this Germany theory for some reason.
Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he?
Master Gods, the boy whom you had in tears.
Don't remind me. Or anyone else.
Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks?
I'm sure they do. Well, probably. Anyway. The point is, that mask doesn't belong to any king.
No, that's right. As we well know. Because we can identify the true owner of this mask.
Take that!
Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to Cosimo Osogi.
In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable.
He just fucking says it.
He's got ADHD. It makes sense.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude.
Look at this asshole. Of course he does.
Only you could
Massive
try to
ADHD.
make that sound positive. Cosimo's mask has been languishing on this metal chest for several days. But that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now.
But it is now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity.
We take it off.
After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves in advance. Gently lift the mask and peer beneath it.
We could have done this in the first place. Hello, Eugen. I don't believe it.
Ah! Father!
I'm afraid, Mr. Sato, you must be mistaken.
No, I think not, Mr. Sholmes.
Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth.
Sholmes, why are you trying to tell Susato that's not her dad?
I think, you know, yeah.
No, I think he's agreeing with her now.
Yeah.
This mysterious visitor.
For half a second, though, he was like, "You're surely mistaken."
Yeah, he was.
He thought he was thinking of Germany. He thought he was thinking about Germany. Is my unconscious father, Eugen Makotoba?
Iris, what did
Why
you
were you
do?
hanging out and drinking tea with my dad, Iris?
What did you do? Logic and
What did you do to my dad,
reasoning.
Iris?
Or just looking and saying?
That's the first time Suzanne's been involved in a deduction.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. I love her so much. Oh God, I love her so much.
Do you love Susato, Miles?
I do. Ah!
Which leaves
Sorry.
us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris.
It's in her mouth. So that's a £5 note poking out from Iris's knapsack, is it?
Oh dear, I can't be sure. Most money that we encounter is in coin form.
I know. Not even sure we've seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have we?
But anyway, Father would never have paid money for Iris's silence.
Is it a are we looking at something, or are you saying we should present something that's not correct? QWERTY. He certainly seems like the silent type himself, though, judging by his present state. There must be some other reason for Iris' silence, I suppose.
Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with is perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with her eyes is something entirely different.
I want to look and see if we can see what it is. Now I think about it, Iris always wears that little bag on her back, doesn't she?
Yes, that's right, though it's easy to forget about it because you can't see it from the front.
Meh.
There are 2 little felt dolls attached to it as well.
Are there? I had no idea. I don't remember ever seeing them before. Is it possible there's always a £5 note poking out from a bag and I just haven't noticed before too?
I couldn't say with absolute certainty, but I think it's unlikely. Very good point, Travis. We can see a lot of the apartment here.
Did it go blue for the shoe? Were you
Yeah, it did go blue for the shoe. This slipper features in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes,
I love
doesn't it?
Dumbledore for sure.
It does. When I first saw it there on the mantelpiece, I very nearly fainted with excitement.
Doesn't Iris keep her 11sies in there?
Yes, that part was never mentioned in the stories.
We could swap it for the Japanese equivalent of a slipper for fun. In other words, a wooden gaiter sandal.
But then it wouldn't be possible to hide anything inside.
Which matters because... I would like to suggest presenting the shoe. I just think it's funny. Okay. We'll present the shoe.
I just think it's neat.
No!
What?
We can
Don't worry
hear
about
your boys.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
that's just what we were doing.
Miles cannot control the rate of his voice.
I do not control the speed at
Control
which
the rate
the boys
at
yell.
which the frat boys party. And actually, for me, it's background noise. Like I can hear them like all the time. Like it's just like there's music is playing. So, like I can't tell when it spikes up loud enough for you guys to hear.
Sometimes
It's
it comes
usually
Yeah, it's
when
people
they
from outside.
yell.
I live in a carriage house behind a larger house, and so there is about a 20-foot like wide and long like square like courtyard between our houses that my window is directly next to, and they have like a dye table and a music and like a boom box and like a floodlight on the area, and they like play dye at night basically. So like yes, they're outside, but I'm also directly next to the window, less than 20 feet from where they are. So it's not actually that bad. I'm just in a bad spot.
They also always do it on Thursdays. It is like always Thursdays.
Yes.
It's very funny.
They party
It's
on
mostly
Thursday.
Not other nights too. Like maybe sometimes one other night a week, but it's usually Thursdays.
Anyway, I'm gonna present this slipper, and it's for you, QWERTY.
Take that!
Clink! We've never had something clink like that.
Hey, I don't think we've ever been wrong.
Obviously, the real reason for Iris' silence now is given away by this Persian slipper. The truth is, even though it's a famous item from one of your most famous mysteries, Mr. Sholmes, Iris hasn't been treating it with the respect it deserves. She's secretly been hiding chocolates inside it.
And I've secretly been eating them. symbiosis that I'd thank you not to disturb, Mr. Naruto.
How have I ended up being the person at fault here? That's very funny. She's trying to hide something. So all of this must be related to the secret she has.
We certainly don't wish to force her into revealing something she'd rather keep secret, keep to herself.
That might mean your father never opens his eyes again.
Don't you think that might be a little melodramatic?
I don't know.
I do like that he is full, like, sprawled out, mouth open, asleep on the, like, passed out on the couch. That is fucking so funny. This metal chest, it contains important documents, doesn't it?
Yes, details of all the cases Mr. Sholmes has worked on over the years. Written up by Iris's father, if I'm remembering correctly. Iris insists that the chest is kept locked at all times. She's never once shown me inside.
Well, its contents are invaluable to her, I suppose, and entirely irreplaceable. But look at it now. The catch is unlocked for once.
Ah, so it is. That's hard to ignore.
Very. I've never seen that chest unlocked before in all the time we've been staying here at Baker Street.
Take that!
I thought it was gonna be her mouth.
I did too, but I couldn't I couldn't do anything about.
Yeah,
Oh, mouth was not an option.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, her mouth was not an option. Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that metal chest.
There's just a different, unrelated corpse in there.
An excellent observation. For upon closer inspection, there is something different about the chest's appearance.
Thank you, Sholmes.
It's kept locked at all times, yet now the catch is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris.
Did Mikota tell you your dad's dead?
So show a picture of her dad.
Mikota-ba!
He came over to be like, hey, we need to have a talk. Why did she freak out and make him
But she
pass
killed
out?
him.
She gave him tea that made him sleepy.
But it's a simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. I merely need to open this chest.
I merely need to open this chest. Thank you. I don't know why I said
Free
that.
you speak.
But
Here we go.
No! Hurley, don't!
There's a snake inside
oh
there.
Jesus!
Oh, so now. Oh my god.
Are you fucking kidding me, Mr. Sholmes? Iris,
That's the best
Oh my
possible
god.
answer.
bitch!
Oh my
Whatever.
god. That explains all the ship art I've seen of those two.
Oh,
He's
my
dead.
Lord. She put the mask and the blanket in the doily and the tea on him to make it seem like he did just like drink some sleepy time tea and take a nap.
Not that he got fucking punched.
His hat stayed on at least.
I'm taking a screenshot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's fucking dead.
Never!
Oh, Hurley, I told you not to open it.
Why is the chest booby trapped, Iris?
So you found your voice now, Iris. We have to fucking finish the deduction without Joel.
Because usually he's there for that. He's just conked out.
Let Iris do it.
Yes.
In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is...
This is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Sholmes, isn't it? Sorry, they just started playing a dance remix of Wonderwall by Oasis.
Oh my god.
It started at the regular song, and then it went modulated down until it was like a beat drop, and then it like went into like a dance remix of Wonderwall. And I was...
Oh my god.
I'm fucking losing my mind.
I don't know how anybody could not react to that. You're absolved, Miles.
I mean, I muted myself. And they were all like, yeah! It's fucking nuts. Oh my god.
Dance remix of Wonderwall!
Holy shit.
No,
I need to go
Nat,
find that
I'll
immediately.
get copyright.
I can see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it. Whatever
get-
version they had.
I'm
not gonna play it now.
No, I know. Nat said stick your microphone out the window. Well, he's left me alone on the ballroom floor, so I'm going to have to dance this next part solo. Almost as good as an Ave Maria techno remix? Anyway, here's Wonderwall. It's
Dubstep, please.
It's fucking...
That's the
fucking
Elvis.
Darude
Contemporary Elvis song.
And anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so...
You don't actually know the answer yet, despite that knowing point of finger before.
Mr. Sato, sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later.
Aww.
Oh, well, if you say so.
Feels very
I-
Phoenix right to say that.
Love Ryu so much.
I think we better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then.
Why couldn't Iris open her mouth the whole time?
Ah, there it is. What is that key to?
The chest! Probably.
I mean, why would she booby trap it if it's opened by a key?
Because she's a doofus. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back.
Ah!
Sorry, Trithus. I don't look around when we're doing a dance. I fucking laser focus.
Zoomed in.
Laser focused. When Mr. Sholmes was thrown into the air before. Just before you called out to try to stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth.
Yes!
She had the key.
It was in her mouth!
Nice call, Alex.
That something is the key now in your hands. No doubt the key to the chest.
You're
She's
so...
gonna call us mean. Oh.
You're so clever, Bruno!
So,
She could never.
now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Sholmes' graphic demonstration. We can well imagine what happened here.
What?
Professor Mikotoba also opened that metal chest only to be punched into the air and land sprawled on the settee.
But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. What about the stylish scarf and the cup of tea? And above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask?
Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly, an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Isn't that right, Iris? Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. When Professor Mikotoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside, the mask
just
flung
all
into
landed
the
on
air
him.
just as he was, only to land neatly on his face when it fell back down. And the teacup's journey through the air ended when it was caught on the unconscious professor's finger.
So you mean to say that the scarlet scarf?
It's actually just a tablecloth. This is the great detective's office, after all, a place of miraculous deductions. She's like, oh, I'm here.
Yes!
Oh,
Yay!
would you expect anything
Yay!
less? They look
She
so
was mean.
cute. They look so cute
Mhm.
together. Look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Look at her little
Babies.
hand.
Babies, both of
Look how
them.
small her hands are.
She's got little tiny baby hands. Just like me.
Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Bruno!
Thus concludes Ryunosuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle.
Yay. Why'd you turn on the gramophone, Iris?
What? Yeah, Iris, why did you turn on the gramophone?
I thought he might like a little song while he was asleep.
I was just trying to make it seem a little more weird, so you maybe not question the rest of it.
Honestly, misdirection, right? Like,
You know what? That's fair.
Why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
oh shit!
Hi!
Solm's
An
objection.
admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather misread, or rather missed everything of importance.
I think I remember there was voice lines. Like everyone got to say objection. Every voice actor has an objection line.
Mm.
Whether or not it's used is
Ooh.
up in there.
Ooh, wait, is the music different?
Yes.
Yo!
Whoa!
Yo,
Oh,
this is
shit.
a different track.
I love how fucking animated this whole sequence is. It's a lot more than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Sholmes.
If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction,
Mr. Sholmes correcting our correction.
Yeah.
So
You're like, hey, what the fuck is up with the broken glass?
he gets
Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret.
She is. And that look on her face. Mr. Sholmes must be right. Whatever that great secret is, Cat isn't out of the bag yet. But where is Wagahai?
In the bag! In her backpack! This whole time!
So
No,
I
it's
put
right.
it to
This
you
is type
again.
sunglasses. You're right. That's correct.
You're attempting to abscond with that coffee cup.
It really is a shame about Mr. Sholmes' cup.
It must have been smashed when Professor Mikotoba opened the chest.
Oh dear. So many things seem to have been broken here.
Now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore.
In other words, her great secret is something else.
This is such a good, like, ramp up. This music fucks.
Mmm.
Let's put our observational skills to work here one final time, then.
It's pursuit deduction. Oh, look! You can see her little teeth!
Her little teethies.
Yeah.
Little tiny teeth. She's the baby teeth.
Oh,
Is
the
it
thing in
the-
her pocket,
is it
right?
the
The
note?
thing that got shoved into her bag?
Yeah, that's
I'm
still
looking.
like a
I'm
big
looking
movement.
around. now.
Mm-hmm.
See if there's anything else obvious.
Oh, I just wanted to look
Or,
at
at the
apartment.
office.
Yeah.
At the apartment.
What's the front door look like?
There's like 2 different
Much
doors.
less interesting than the side of the room we see.
Yeah. I love her hair.
Whoa!
Yeah. You're right, man.
Her hair's
Same.
crazy.
Anyway, I want to look at. Well, what do we have to say about the handle? Oh, sorry, that's me.
Molly.
Mr. Sholmes' favorite cup.
Oh, what's left of it? Just the handle.
It was obviously hurled into the air along with Professor Mikotoba. If only it had been this cup that had caught on his finger before it hit the floor.
But anyway, whatever Iris is trying to hide
I think it's the plate.
is clearly not this handle.
Can I look underneath it? Yeah. There it is. It's the
Oh,
file note
shit.
she stole.
Take that!
Hmm.
You were attempting to abscond with that case file.
Oh, that tasty violin.
Yeah.
Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective.
Oh no.
We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today, and Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report of Clint von Zeeks had gone missing.
Oh, that look. Clint von Zeeks. Yes, I do seem to recall. That's some years ago I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris?
I.
You mean it was you, Iris? Those papers you have there are...
I'm sorry.
Oh, God, no!
Look at me!
That's the end picture with Iris just stopping.
And that's what would have happened if I stayed playing Nikon.
Yeah.
In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting Detective Herlock Sholmes.
Aw, I'm sorry, Hurley.
So you mean this autopsy report really is?
Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important.
Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris?
Let me look at it.
Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I had been looking for. When I saw this report, I saw the writing in it.
Dad
It's done by her dad.
Her
Yeah.
dad wrote it.
I knew it was Daddy's.
Oh, sad Iris music. Oh.
The writing.
Oh, my soul. Your father's writing? What do you really mean?
Iris? be something that's hard for her to talk about.
Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows.
Mr. Sholmes, what is it?
I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten.
Ah, Father!
We'll deal with
We
it
sort of wrapped up and dancing around, didn't we?
Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest.
Yes, okay, put him to bed, and then let's talk to Iris.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes?
would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel.
Oh, yes, of course. I'll help you carry him up.
So will I.
Good, I'll stay here and talk to Iris. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy.
Sholmes?
So you're just gonna hoist Eugene over his shoulder and carry him away?
We wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew.
We don't want Sholmes to be here when we talk about this.
Sholmes! Why do you want to be alone with
Sholmes.
Mikotaba?
Jules might have to explain things if he's down here.
There's a reason why Miles saw the ship art of him.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk.
Oh my
By his
god!
feet. He just
Oh,
from
just up
every
the stairs.
single step.
I wonder. Perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Sholmes is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely.
We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris.
Yeah, Mikotaba is got fucking conked out. He is not. He's not with it.
He's an older man. He's not as spry as Sholmes. He can't bounce back up after being punched in the fucking face and thrown.
He's 43. How old is Sholmes? 34. Okay. Just checking.
9 years.
No reason. And find out what's going on.
And find out what's going on. Sorry, I didn't realize it was still me.
Yeah, it's
My
fine.
boba is going after
Stop
fucking
weird.
not getting a driver for an hour. My boba is gonna be here in the middle of this fucking conversation.
Alright, well, I'll give
Just
you.
to fucking spite me.
We're taking 5.
No, don't! Not yet!
No, we're
It's not
taking
here
5.
yet.
I need to pee!
Fine, go
Fuck
piss.
off!
Go piss, girl.
This time.
Piss time.
I think I found the remix, by the way. I will send it to the Discord.
Nice.
And the thing that's really jarring about it is the first, 15 to 20 seconds are just the song as it normally is, before it turns into a remix. So I thought they were just playing Wonderwall, and then it
Drop.
is just then it changes. Putting it in bops and jams, I guess.
I think it would have been funny to put it in Ace Attorney and just confuse everyone who wasn't here.
Well, I'm not gonna be correct.
I'll be right back.
The worst part is that when my boba finally gets here, I'm not going to be able to run downstairs. I hyperextended my leg this morning.
Oh no.
So my calf hurts like a bitch. So I have to hobble downstairs. So I can't even move fast to get the boba and come back.
Should play the Wonderwall remix right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's what I'm watching.
Yeah, me too.
I can't. You'll hear it.
Okay. The way it transitions is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
The most frat song
I
ever.
love the like AMV pictures of just like Marshmallow.
A Rick Ross soundbite is in it. I wish I knew what that meant. I'm so sorry.
Also, I'm back.
The entire rest of it is just not Wonderwall.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
disappointing
Point.
as hell.
Rip. It's just like a fake out.
They landed on gold and then they just threw it away.
Just
Remix. Oh my god. Fine, I'm gonna have to listen to the whole thing later. It's like
Yeah.
5.5 minutes long.
oh my god.
The Ave Maria remix seems to have done a better job with its gold.
Yeah, I think that the remix I actually saw was like it's actually like a remix of that and another song, right? So like it's not just Wonderwall, but I did not recognize the other song, nor did I especially care. Because hearing that drop fucking it shook my whole world for a second.
They don't even like match up the keys.
I think that was it. I need to like I was trying to listen to it like in snippets between like dialogue.
Mm.
Interesting. Alright, fantastic. Here we go. Let's be sad.
Yep.
Let's just get real sad.
I'll try, but I am listening to Ave Maria Techno remix. It'll be hard.
Dimitro's gonna be here to ruin my good times.
Anyway, so I guess I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like this conversation with Iris is going to be our final one before the to be continued. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, like if that's not the case. But I think when
Someone
we hit,
try this.
yeah, I think when we're done with this conversation, I'll end stream tonight because I am very sleepy, and that's going to be a good point to end. I think.
No, this is a long case.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard a Thomas the Tank Engine Trap remix. I have heard that.
Hell
That's
yeah.
something I've
I
experienced.
have a Thomas the Tank Engine mixed up with I Write Since Not Tragedy.
I've also heard that.
You want
Kind of
that?
right, close enough.
That's ominous.
Okay. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father?
I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner.
Yes, and that yes, and that notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest.
That's right. Hurley told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet.
That's one way of describing it.
Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture of my dad, in my head of what Daddy must be like.
natural.
You're just like any other girl of your age.
I read that Daddy was a professional of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too.
Well, that's only natural, I suppose.
In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though.
But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name.
Really?
Oh shit, the bulb is here.
Okay, go get your boba. We'll wait.
Okay, theory time.
What you got? Or were you
What?
just saying that?
Oh, I said...
You said theory time, and I said what you got, and then there was silence.
Yeah.
No,
well.
my phone picked it up, and in my headphones said it's 10:55.
Oh, theory time sounds like theory.
It cut
That
off
sounds
you
like
guys,
theory.
and I couldn't figure out what the fuck was happening.
I thought you said Siri time.
Oh my god, that's funny. Oh, you said okay right before it, so it sounded like hey Siri, time.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Siri. Yeah.
Who's playing that?
Who's playing what?
For some reason, it was playing on my computer at full volume all of a sudden. The Marshmallow remix again. What the fuck is happening?
Miles, I think your technology has suddenly become cursed.
Oh god.
Goodness.
Ugh.
Fuck, dude. Oh. It is very funny what things your microphone decides to pick up. Now you are clanging.
Yeah, I know. I forgot. I was getting the tea bag out of my tea again.
How dare you?
Oh, I also have a cupcake. For my birthday was earlier this week, and my mom mailed me cupcakes.
Aw.
Happy birthday again.
Happy birthday week. This whole week is your birthday.
Yeah, my actual birthday kind of sucked. I had a final that I did pretty bad on, I think, and so I spent the rest of the week... No, it's okay. I mean, I'm not, like, heartbroken about it. I don't think I'm gonna fail the class. I just didn't do very well. But the rest of the week has been pretty chill, so...
Oh, that's good.
I got cupcakes, so I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
be very happy about it.
Much.
I'm good
What
at
is-
lunch.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, cool.
I said I was waiting.
Oh, thank you. I just booked. I
think they
booked it.
fucking booked it,
I
yeah.
fucking booked it after I said the bulb was here. I just fucking muted and
Miles'
ran.
birth.
Yep. 25 years ago.
That's a
Which is
whole
That's
quarter
a
of a
scary,
quarter
century.
of a
actually.
century.
Almost
Damn.
there.
What do you mean?
Almost there.
What does that mean?
Only 3 more of them.
Almost there.
Ah.
His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he had made about his work with Eddie.
Almost there is probably the most threatening you could say in response to someone's age.
That's okay, but this is why she took the autopsy report, because it had his name on it, and it was the same writing as the notes. It was the only thing that she'd ever seen with his name.
But then one day,
That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right?
yes,
So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye.
Wait, maybe Well, maybe John H. Wilson is not actually her dad. She's just conflating two people's handwriting to the notes.
All doctors write the same.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, actually,
possible.
that is like the stereotype.
That's so, her dad's not dead because he's not John Wilson. I don't know.
When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it.
I find it hard to believe that Sholmes would just let her think her dad's name was John H. Wilson, though.
If he's trying to cover something up bigger, I believe he would.
Maybe.
Because he's been keeping a lot of shit from everyone recently, especially her.
I know that handwriting, I thought to myself.
Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen in your father's case notes.
Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that was the first and last time we'd be allowed to even look at it there.
So you decided to steal it.
I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had there. There was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's.
And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report.
Read Dr. John H. Wilson.
So that's how I finally found out. I learnt Daddy's name at last.
I see.
Ever since then, I called myself Iris Wilson. And that's also when I had a brilliant idea.
That does very... It's weird because Mikotapa explicitly said that Wilson
Wilson never mentioned a family.
Never mentioned a family, and that he didn't mention ever having worked with Sholmes.
Because that's not her father.
I don't think it's... Yeah, I think she has the name wrong.
Yeah.
She's confusing two different people. And maybe that means that Wilson's not the one who did that autopsy. He just signed it. And someone else did it.
Did it? Yeah.
Her actual dad.
The only... Guys.
The only other guy there was Mikotaba.
Is Iris...
Oh, fuck.
Is Iris Mikotaba's?
Oh, wait. I mean, she's like 9 years old. He was here like...
He was here 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
She's 11. He was here between 16 and 10 years ago.
Yeah. She's
Holy
11.
Shit.
Are we fucking saying Iris is
Iris is
half
Iris'
Japanese?
sister, yeah.
And Susato's sister.
No fucking way.
Because
Mikotaba came to Sholmes years ago to be like, hey, can you take care of my daughter? Like, I have a daughter here. I need to go back to Japan to take care of my other daughter. Can you take care of my daughter here?
Also, if her last name is Japanese, that may be part of why Sholmes, like, for terms of, like, trying to keep a secret what happened, like, why he wouldn't
Letting
tell
her
her.
be, it's Wilson.
Right, like,
Mm-hmm.
if they're trying to, like, keep a secret that she's Mikotaba's kid,
Right, but
that would be something to...
And the hand, like, if Mikotaba was helping, like, this would have to mean Mikotaba was helping Sholmes with his cases. That's why all the case notes are his handwriting. He wrote the autopsy notes.
Oh god, please.
And Wilson signed it.
Wait, do we have any?
God,
Do we have any of?
please.
Do we have his writing? Did he write on the?
We do
must
have
have
his
wrote us.
writing!
So we can compare it right now.
We do have his
Holy
writing!
shit! We have his writing!
Oh god! Oh god!
God!
Oh
And his outfit here looks like the very stereotypical actual like John Watson
The
outfit.
actual
He
Watson
looks like
outfit.
Watson.
Got the little hat on, the
His
mustache, and the
little
little suit.
mustache.
Holy
Look
shit.
at Watson.
Oh my god, this is funny. I saw something about comparing the two at some point, and I don't know if this is that or if this is someone, or I don't know what, but I've had this. I knew something had to be going on.
I
between
want to
these
be
two.
right. Let's
I mean,
keep
Jones
going.
I want to be right so bad.
If it's confirmed, then this also confirms that he dies next case.
Shut the fuck
off.
up.
Takumi wrote this.
Shut the
Writing
fuck
stories
up.
about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
And that's why Mikotopa reads all of the adventures.
Because his daughter wrote them.
Oh,
And it's about him.
we gotta be right. Fuck.
This is too perfect if it's not. I can't believe that this would be unintentional.
I had no idea the stories had such a deep personal significance for
I'm
you.
like staring to see if there's a resemblance between Sasato and Iris now, and I think there kinda is.
They
little
both
bit.
got hair loopies.
Yep. They have the same eye shaky.
Yeah,
They
do
have
very
the same
most-
crying animation.
But I think their eyes are the same except different colors.
They also
Right,
share a
then shut
lot
the
of like
fuck up.
poses.
No leading.
Yeah, I actually don't remember.
I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now.
Oh, he found the Baskerville. From the Baskervilles.
And
And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. This is Sholmes.
Or to Makotopa.
I must apologize, Iris.
Either way,
Either way, it's
Shasta.
Shasta.
This is really all my fault.
Hurley.
I made a promise, you see. That until the time was right,
The reason why Makotopa had a copy of the Hound of the Baskervilles wasn't because it was the manuscript, it was the actual notes from that case.
I'd keep the details about your father a secret.
I know. I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gorey and apologize, I promise.
Yes. We'll go together, I think. Hey, can we put it in the court record first?
Then let me look after it for you until we get there. Oh, that handwriting looks very familiar.
I mean,
I think that's just the same.
that's the
same
default autopsy report.
Yeah.
I mean, but if that's intentional, who knows?
Clint's autopsy report has been entered into the court record. Let me look at it. It's not gonna.
Look at that shit.
It's not gonna show us the actual writing because it's word. Anyway,
Motherfuckers.
Clint Van Zeeks, 33, British, 31st of May between 9 p.m. and midnight. Death from a single stab wound to the heart. Other superficial external wounds indicative of a duel. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. Vital evidence
Do you think they found the
recovered
ring?
from the victim's stomach during autopsy.
They found the ring in his stomach. He swallowed it.
What ring?
The ruby ring that we've seen.
The one that the one bitch has on his finger?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Genshin.
The Daily has?
Daily has it now, but Genshin had it before, right?
Why would he be eating the ring?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I mean, what else was in his stomach? Like, what else was vital evidence that was in his stomach other than
We
I
don't
know. I guess.
We haven't gotten any.
He was hungry.
He was hungry. He had a snack.
He's also a cannibal.
John.
He hadn't eaten in 2 days.
God, Makoto had a lot on his plate. His friend, he got a woman. His wife died, and his daughter was born without him around. Then he had to go to London, where he got another woman pregnant, and then his friend died, and now he has to choose between taking care of the child here or going back to Japan and taking care of his first daughter and now his friend's son. Oof. I must go water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later.
Yeah, your order was a little wrong. Order was a little wrong.
A lot happened to him in a short amount of time. A short span of a few years, I should say.
Poor Iris. She must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still.
Ah!
Susato sees it. Yo.
What? How? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes?
Mr. Sholmes?
Oh dear me. So, you've noticed, I see.
Yes!
But that would mean...
Yes! What on earth's the matter, Mr. Sato? You've turned as white as a sheet.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all.
Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that?
Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yes! Fuck! Fuck, that's so good!
Secret
Holy
siblings
shit,
are
fuck,
actually
that's
gonna
good.
know!
Oh
What?
god, fuck, that's good!
What? Professor Mikotobus?
Indeed. It's true.
It caught it for bullying!
Travis, we already know he fucks!
Yeah,
Now
we
what's
got
the
it.
question?
He fucked at least once! Now we
He
have proof
fucks
that he's fucked at least twice!
And now you know, my dear fellows.
Iris's dad isn't dead! Yes!
Yes!
Oh fuck, that's...
Woo!
Okay, knock wood, everyone like hit something that is wood right now.
Uh,
Because this is extremely bad, like very ominous news.
Yeah.
This is terrible news from a coach about.
She still followed in her father's footsteps, though, and became a doctor.
It's true.
And then she knocked him out, then she hit him with a giant boxing glove and knocked him out of the couch.
Nice
No,
to meet you, Dad.
I don't know anything.
Damn!
What on earth does all this mean, Mr. Sholmes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind, it's just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain.
Please, this is some Alex storytelling.
You have to explain!
It is! I wrote DGS!
So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Mikotoba then? But that makes no sense. It's not possible, surely.
Not possible, my dear fellow! Pray, take a deep breath and think again.
Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago is when Father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain.
And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikotoba engaged?
Ah, of course. He was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory, learning about forensic science.
And as an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document.
In other words, the only writing Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end.
Good night, Selfie.
Good night, Sylvie. I'm glad you got to be here at least for this.
I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson.
Which is very understandable, of course.
She was, like, 8.
And this is a weird situation, would have generally speaking.
What a complicated situation. The details of Clint's autopsy report have been updated in the court record. Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits.
Yes, the Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes, written by Iris.
And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction.
Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure.
So what about this supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not?
Ah, you've come straight to the point, I see.
And please come straight to the answer.
I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade, and the only person I could truly have called a friend.
And did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest?
Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely.
Be careful when you open it, Chisoto. So, where's your partner now? Upstairs in your bed?
We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world.
I just had another thought, guys, which was that I wonder if I don't know how much Iris got to be around her father.
Probably
But
not at
she-
all.
Not at all? Okay. I guess then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, absolutely none at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
not
thinking
at
about
I
the
was
reason
just
she knows
like-
how to speak
She
Morse
picked
code to
up the-
Japanese.
No, she picked up the
Mm.
Japanese so quickly. I'm just like, huh? Did she
Yeah.
actually like get exposed to Japanese as a child? Yeah.
It's
In the
possible she
womb.
did, but
I think she was born.
I mean
after
that's
he left.
interesting that he wrote all of his case notes in English.
I mean, he was in.
He was writing in.
I mean, if
in
Sholmes can't
in
read
England.
Japanese.
That's true.
Right. It wouldn't do Sholmes any good to have all of his case notes in a language he can't read.
Right, but like it's also for his benefit too. Like there's not even like little scribbles that he wrote on the side like annotating things. But
But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand, and if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner, there would only be one logical conclusion.
Pray, impress me.
Fuck off. Your partner would have to be Yujin Mikotoba. In other words, Miss Tsusoto's father.
Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes?
You are coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
You mean to
Fuck, I
say?
love Sholmes.
Allow me to introduce you. To my great friend and partner, Mikotaba.
Oh, that music.
Professor
This is the
Mikotaba.
music that I think plays during all the openings where John H. Wilson is talking. The narrating
Oh.
stuff, I think. Sounds like it.
John H.
Could be,
Wilson, quote unquote.
Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No, my dear. I'm still my old self. Eugen Mikotaba, your father.
Oh, of course.
This is obviously too much for Susato-san to take in.
I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity. As a great mystery solver, it's the greatest mystery of all.
Because Mikotaba solved all the mysteries.
I still remember the first time we met. Oh, pray remind me, when was it again, Mikotaba? 16 years ago, Sholmes.
So long.
Ah, yes, quite. 16 years ago. I'd just arrived from Japan with Seishiro and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital. Some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. But rents aren't devilishly high in that particular area. That's right. So I decided I needed someone to share lodgings and the expense. And was fortunate enough to be introduced to Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation.
Yeah.
And they were roommates.
And they were
roommates and partners.
And partners.
I was a callow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. And the situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see.
Oh, you guys fucking died.
I didn't.
No,
I'm
right.
here.
Molly did.
Miles died. Molly.
No.
No,
I'm
Molly's still here.
here.
It's Miles.
I'm here.
Molly. If Molly died, we wouldn't be seeing the stream right now.
Yeah.
Well, I still saw Miles' icon when I hovered over things. I was like, it must not have been Miles, but I don't see Molly's icon.
Yeah.
But it's because Molly is not watching his own stream.
I'm not.
Hard to believe it was a mere 6 years ago. We had a great many adventures.
The frat guys got him. They climbed through the window.
That's terrifying. That's absolutely horrifying, Molly. God.
It's even worse because I'm pretty sure Miles is on the second floor.
Pile on top of each other like zombies. Hi, Miles.
My internet crashed, so I'm on my phone.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Well, at least you probably won't be talking very much.
Yeah, I can just do like a. I don't think it probably doesn't sound that bad. I went to my phone. I'm just gonna see if I can like restart my computer or something.
But in the last year of Mikotoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. The case with which you've become rather familiar yourselves. The Professor killings. After the trial, Seishiro and I were summoned back home.
Hardly surprising, given the circumstances.
So there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in this metal chest.
This is just amazing. Professor Mikotoba really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner.
he hasn't connected the dots that means makes him Iris's dad yet.
John Locke, if they slayed.
That's so fucking funny. Oh my god.
Also, I think Sasato has.
Oh, yeah.
Those dots.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Sasato's brains were roaring 5,000 miles an hour at the moment.
I think he said... Goodness, my dear. What a cutting look.
Your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now.
And that is?
You know very well what it is. The unresolved mystery of Iris's father.
Ah, of course. I'd almost forgotten about that one.
Negotiable had hoped you'd forgotten about that one. I should have seen this coming, I suppose.
Yes, you should have.
I love that Eugen's dressed like that and Sholmes is dressed like this.
Is
The
this the real
culture flag.
reason that he called Iris home? Because he learned that she was staying with Sholmes? Was like,
He called
no.
Sasato home.
Yes, Sasato. Damn it. Didn't want her that close.
Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes?
That is indeed what I told young Iris.
Oh, what? Okay. But if you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris's father must be you.
Unless Iris's father is not the person who wrote those
Upon my
notes.
word, Miss Sasato. You are coming along wonderfully as well. And you too have hit upon the method at last.
I think I'm back on my computer. Do I sound better?
Yes.
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 You
Way better.
finally grasped the art of deduction.
Shut up.
What?
Does Mikoto not know?
He seems
What you always
surprised.
told me, father. Is that my mother died when I was born 16 years ago. And you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about Iris...
Ooh, there it is. Susato-san's ice-cold stare.
No. Now, hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not. What do you think?
Then perhaps you'd like to explain exactly what it is.
Getting spicy. There it is. Now the eyes go from ice cold to red hot just before she.
No, really, you've got the wrong end of the stick. Sholmes, say something, man.
Gonna flip him.
Spared.
That's quite enough, my fiery fellows.
Mr. Sholmes, when did he get all dressed up? The only thing that's different is the mask is on his head now.
So this is when he like put on the
Yeah, this
like,
is
the
when he like
jacket,
got on
right?
his
Yeah,
coat
yeah.
and hat.
Yeah.
His deerstalker.
Oh my god.
Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikoto and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion.
No, you have an urgent matter to explain who Iris's father is. Bitch.
But it's very late, Mr. Sholmes. Where must you go?
Why, my dear madam, is that not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies.
What?
So, get your coat, Mikotaba. The game is afoot.
Oh!
Okay.
And they were roommates!
And they were fucking.
They were fucking.
Mhm.
But, Mr. Sholmes, I really must give Susato a full explanation, I think.
Please!
God, please.
No!
Later, my dear fellow, later.
Fuck off!
Our carriage awaits downstairs already.
There's no
You
later!
cryptic bastard.
No, he needs to tell us right now!
You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really. I visit our home after 10 long years.
Our home!
Our
Well, this is the same
home.
place they rented?
Yeah.
And when I open that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably pass out.
Wow, they were so gay.
And as if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, I plunge straight into all this.
Father,
Oh, that's his theme.
please. Go with Mr. Sholmes now.
What?
I've no doubt that whatever happened, you are acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you. Completely.
Susato's too good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice know.
Susato.
And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams.
I've got two dads now.
Yeah, Susato, you have two dads.
And one of them's my hero.
Very well then. We'll speak again later.
Two dads.
So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow.
This is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Good luck in battle. And in reaching a decision.
A decision about whether to go back to Japan, I suppose. No.
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself. It would only be
Watch
later
going back
that
to
I
mood.
came to
Correct.
realize
Fucking mood.
how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth. And that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
Title drop.
Woohoo! Roll credits. The end.
You know, it's possible that they are misleading, like Sholmes lied, and her dad's actually the same as Cosmo's,
Genshin?
Genshin.
Mmm.
Could be.
That was real
Regardless.
spicy.
That would explain that would explain why they didn't want to explain it now, because we are incorrect.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Wait! What did Genshin's letter say?
Leave it to
It
my
said
son,
give it
right?
all to my children.
No,
To his-
to my son. Cosmo.
My son.
said
Okay, my son. I
Yeah.
want to make sure we got it right because my son. Okay, see, if it said children, that or child or whatever, that would change things. But it does say son. Okay.
That didn't say to be continued?
What did it say?
Oh, are we going into a new case?
Oh,
That would
fuck.
be so weird.
Oh, that's fucking...
Flashback! Flashback! Are we going to the Hunt of the Baskervilles?
Oh. Oh.
No.
Yo.
Oh,
We're
please.
in the final.
Oh, please,
It
please,
just
please.
said end. It said end. Okay. This
Can
is
we just like see if
Hey, I
they switched to a new chapter?
I was right. I think I said
Yeah.
that we were.
we're
This
in
case was going to be both.
we're in
Yeah.
final now.
Ha ha!
Fuck. I guess we're on 2-5. Fuck.
Oh. Oh no.
Whoa.
Oh, that time. Can we see the little...
No.
Molly, you were so right. You were so
Molly,
right to
we
be
did
like,
that-
hey, we're
we
gonna
did
stop.
that we did it for the exhibition, and then we watched it again.
No.
Come on, Molly, let's just watch the whole thing.
We don't want to have the hype.
Well, we did that before. We've done it before.
I know, but this one I
I will
don't.
watch it on my own if
This
you don't.
one I
Uh,
don't want to know. For this one, I don't want to know. So
Wow,
that's
that's
good.
Unconventional ending to like
To a
a quote unquote
chapter,
case.
yeah.
Yeah. That's wild.
very high.
Yeah, and you know what? It was like, how the fuck is this the Reaper case and we've still got another kid? Like,
Right.
I'm so glad I was right about that one.
yeah.
I guess we're gonna do case 5 and then come back to case 4, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we haven't
Or
finished.
solve it all at once.
We
Or
haven't
just a two-parter.
finished. We haven't finished Von Seeks's trial. So
Yeah, no, we
Right,
haven't.
we're saying that it might be it's either a two-parter or it's a flashback and then to this.
We do what Turnabout Succession did, and we go do a flashback, and then we come back to do the second half of this
Yeah.
modern case or something. You know.
Modern.
You know what I mean.
I know. More than in the sense of this one.
Anyway. Next time, we're like sprinting for the finish line, y'all. We're so close.
Mm-hmm.
You can taste it. It's right there. So we'll start the final case next week. I'm so excited.
Shit, we're gonna play Danganronpa a lot sooner than I thought we were going to.
Right?
I'm not willing to complain about that.
But no, it's fine.
We did. I think last stream. I uploaded the
We're
bot.
gonna
That
get
was
so much less
was
wholesome.
episode 30. So.
Wow.
Damn.
Yes, after we finish Ace Attorney, we are going to be playing Danganronpa V3. I believe. Well, I think I was gonna take a break. So, where did it go? I have a list. Hold on. Oh god, everything's falling. I made a list.
It's a lot. I feel like it's a lot easier to make theories when we're all doing it together. Like we're bouncing off of each other. Like I think, like I said, it's not her dad. It was written by someone else in the room, and then everyone else was like, the only other person in the room was Makotaba, and then that was like the holy shit.
Alex has a really good way of shooting like 5 inches to the side of a target.
Yeah,
and if Alex
and
is
then
alone, that means they then spin off into like a roller coaster, completely unrelated shit. But if there's a peanut gallery,
yeah,
we can sort of lasso Alex right
Alex
back into
is our
the truth.
Sholmes.
Yeah.
Alex is our Sholmes, and we are
Yes,
all the
though.
course correction.
Try this. You need to catch up on Danganronpa. Then you can hang out with us.
I didn't actually write down what I wanted to do between.
Wasn't there Steins Gate or something?
That is not going between.
That's another long one.
That's another
Molly
very long
wanted like a little 1 or 2 stream thing.
yeah, I wanted to do.
Okay.
I wanted to do a game that was like 1 or 2 streams. I don't know what it's gonna be because I didn't write it down. The thing that I was thinking of is that between Danganronpa V3 and Steins Gate, I wanted to do Disco Elysium, which would just be a me thing because it's fully voice acted now. Danganronpa, a nice short puzzle game.
Point and click adventure game.
I like
You
short
want both?
puzzle games. I have a lot of short puzzle games is the thing. I have a lot of games. I have I can tell you how many games I have. I have 486 games in my Steam library.
Lord.
So
Also, Molly, I want you to just sort of know that like Disco Elysium is like a 30+ hour game.
oh yeah, I know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure you knew that like it's not like a couple of streams.
No.
It's like 30 to 60 hours.
That's why it was going between Danganronpa and Steins Gate. I wanted to give everybody a nice big
Okay,
break.
okay.
And it's fully voice acted, so like it would just be like a nice like in between Danganronpa and Steins Gate.
Cool. I just want to make sure that
Steins Gate's kind of like a Zero Escape adjacent-ish.
It's more of a classic visual novel, is what I understand. It's not
Yeah.
it's not as like gameplay heavy.
It's free, but a fun.
There are like decisions that you make, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, share it in Discord. I might not do that one for stream, but I'll definitely check it out. But yeah, so yeah, and when I make my lists, I write down how many hours. Like I go to how long to beat and like write down the hours and figure out how many streams roughly it would take to do all this. So like I've got notes. I've got a full page.
Cool. I just wanted to make sure I know like it's people don't. So I wanted to double check.
Yeah.
It's deceptive.
Yeah, I was thinking of Disco Elysium kind of like when I did the AI Somnium files. It was just gonna be a me thing, and it would be a little longer than, but just a nice break on Thursday so that like everyone doesn't have to be here every week all the time.
Cool.
But I have not picked a shorter game for after the Greatest Attorney, but I am going to do one that does not require other people to be here, so that you will be free for a couple weeks before we do Danganronpa V3.
I don't think this would happen because that's not how time works, and especially not how we work. Unless the short chapter is very short, the perfect timing would be the week I have my surgery is the week we're not doing this. Because I'm gonna be strung out and not at my apartment.
I don't think this is only gonna be like 3 weeks,
no,
Alex.
3 weeks.
I did not know that had gotten scheduled. I haven't talked to anybody except for so busy with shit.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll be back next Thursday to start the final case. In the meantime, I will potentially be doing a Satisfactory stream on Sunday with Alex this weekend. I might have plans. I gotta talk to my mom. It's Mother's Day on Sunday, if you didn't know that.
Oh shit.
So now you know Sunday's Mother's Day. Say hi to your mom if that's your thing. I'm not gonna. You
Call
don't
your
have
mother.
to. You don't have to if that's not how that's not good for you. But otherwise, maybe. So I may or may not be doing a stream on Sunday. We'll see what happens. But Tuesday, hopefully we'll be back with Elden Ring. And then we'll see you Thursday. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.